Show. Howard 101. You'd be amazed all the people that do listen to your show.
I can't stand it, I tell you.
I love it. I did it best.
We're surely
We're hitting the capital. All right, it's 8 days. Relax. Yeah, we're on a bus.
medicine.
The wrongs don't make a right.
That's what they say in Hong Kong.
And Jay Thomas.
Hello, the Jay Thomas Show. Shuley is back in New York. I'm here in California. Kevin Kraft and Garrett Andritz are running things, and of course, we're coming to you from Studio 2. You ever see that on television where they give a studio number? I don't know what that means, but you know. Before the show is over today, we have female arm wrestlers coming on.
Bring it on. Going down.
A woman that says, I'm not fat enough. She wants to be fatter.
Whose wife is this?
I don't know. And Robert Shimmel, right?
Oh, that's going to be a fun knee slapper of an interview.
You know what I remember about him is...
it's time to see what's killing Robert now.
He had the cancer, and he comes on the show, and he wrote the book. And he had left his wife for his daughter's friend. Remember this?
Oh, please. His wife, he was in some, medicated stupor in the hospital and was talking to the chick on the phone, and his wife was right there. And he didn't even realize it because he was so loaded.
Well, but also, he gets cancer, and the basically the little girl that he fell in love with can't take care of him, so... His wife takes care of him while he has cancer, right?
Right.
Or the soon-to-be ex-wife or whatever. So that's what the book is about. Right. And I'm sure all of you that, listen, know, the story. So he comes on my show, and we're staying in the same hotel. So I'm standing in the elevator, and the name of the hotel is the Flat Hotel, which I thought would be a great name for a hotel in Chile. Can you imagine you're at the Flat Hotel and the earthquake hits? But so I'm getting in the elevator, and I think I recognize him, but of course he looks awful at that time. He was, just coming out of the chemo and all that. And he's with this younger woman, and this is how many years ago? 2 or 3 years ago, Garrett? Gotta be a couple of years ago, right? Yeah. And they look miserable. I mean, and it looks like if somebody says something, surely it would be one of these, like, if anyone spoke, it would be like, they would just explode, right? So it's really tense in the elevator, really tense. And I don't want to say anything because I don't even want to speak. The air was just so, thick with hatred. And so the next day he comes in to get interviewed, and they go, oh, that was, is it Bob? We call him Bob Shimmel. I don't know all these people's names. So I said, oh, and he tells the story, and he's got the book. And I'm thinking, they look like they absolutely hated each other. Now they're done, right? They're finished.
Well, yeah, I mean, there were a lot of accusations of cheating and
oh my
on
God.
Bob's part, and he came on the show on Howard and was telling just some ridiculous stories, man, to the point where he said that he came downstairs one night. It was 3 a.m, and his wife was up with the neighbor.
With a guy in the living room?
Yeah, on the couch. And then the neighbor's wife came knocking at the door, and the neighbor laid down and pretended to be asleep on the couch, and his wife ran upstairs. And they're both going, nothing's going on.
I got to tell you, there must be a lot of bored people, because for me or my wife to go out of our way to get laid by people in the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, you got a kid, right? You got other things to think about now, right? With your wife.
Sure.
Can you imagine trying to add a mistress to what's going on with the new baby and the wife? And
I can't even hold the remote and feed her at the same time.
Exactly.
Right? Forget a mistress.
So he's got the daughter of his, the friend of his daughters. He's got the ex-wife, and he's got cancer, right?
Yeah.
How do you get laid in that situation? Most people can't get laid because they're busy,
Right.
They work too hard. But, it's and first of all, why would you don't even feel like getting laid when you're doing chemo or whatever it is, right? So anyway, he'll come in. What an intro. He'll be here later.
Here's Robert.
So I was back in New York and flew back home, and I'm flying back on like United Airlines or whatever, and I'm in the bathroom, and I walk back and I hand the lady my coffee cup or whatever, and I say thank you very much, and I think she says something like, "Oh, I recognize you" or whatever, and I go, "Okay." So I go in. And for some reason, you know how you for no reason at all, you get like what guys call a piss on hard. You know what that is?
Sure. Morning wood kind of thing.
I talk to you like you're from another planet sometimes.
Yeah.
So, but it's like airline wood. I don't know what you call that. You're up 35,000 feet. So you know how you have to kind of bend over the toilet and try and pee.
Right. You got to readjust. It's a whole new ball game at that point.
Yeah. So I go into the thing and I got whatever you want to call it, airline, I don't know what, there must be some, I don't know what, there must be some official,
Altiwood instead of altitude. It's
I don't know what it is, something like that. And I'm in there trying to do that, and all of a sudden, they knock on the door. They knock on the door to the bathroom. And I'm thinking, I like turn around. First of all, you're in that little tiny bathroom, right? So I turn around and I go, that they must be, loading something into the.
Well, because when you lock the door, it says occupied on the other side.
Yeah. Like that. And then somebody starts rattling the handle, and I'm thinking, what is going on? So now I'm having trouble peeing anyway. And so now here comes this. So I open the door and I peek out, and there's the pilot and two stewardesses, and I don't know, a guy is there. I guess it was an air marshal.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this happened to me.
Oh, they really did recognize you.
No, that's right. So I look out, and I zip myself up and I go, what is it? And they look in and they open the door and they look around in the room and they go, okay, like that.
We heard you had a hard-on, sir.
The guy in the other bathroom across from this one was smoking a cigarette.
Get out of here.
And it set off the smoke alarm, and they didn't know which bathroom it was.
What a fucking idiot.
The smoke alarm went off, and I'm trying to think where we were flying. I think we were flying to, I want to say Denver or something like that. I don't know where it was. But we're flying to like Denver. And, they get the guy, now he was smoking, and they put him in these plastic handcuffs, and they moved him to the front of the plane, and they sat him like in a front seat. And when we landed, they told everybody to stay seated, and the cops came on the plane and they arrested him and took his ass off. I've never seen that in my life.
I mean, in this day and age, do you really need a cigarette that bad?
It was like a 2.5 or a 3-hour flight or something, right? And so he couldn't not smoke the cigarette.
I'm a smoker, and even if I had the money to cover the fine, I mean, it's just idiotic.
I didn't know what to think when I opened the door. I thought, gee, that's kind of cool, knocking on the door, and I'm trying to pee. And
would you think you were the 1 millionth customer in the bathroom?
No, when I opened the door, they were all staring at me like someone said, he's in there now and he's peeing. Let's look at him.
How great would it be if you opened the door and the pilot's holding a giant check?
But here's what's weird. When things happen to you, you think of who you're going to tell. I immediately said, I can't wait to tell Shuley,
Oh my God. Well,
he's a smoker. Is that what it is? The guy just couldn't. By the way, I don't know what happened to him, but they took his ass off the plane. The weird part is that they handcuffed him and moved him to the front of the plane. And so I guess what it was if you light a match on a plane, forget that it's a cigarette. You know, you're trying to light your shoe or whatever the hell it is, right? It's like a bomb thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. If you try to tie that fucker a little too long, they might tackle you. You know?
The guy, by the way, was an air marshal, I found out.
The guy that was smoking?
No,
Oh.
the guy that was just kind of there.
Yeah. Well, supposedly they're on every flight now. But that's what they tell you. I don't know.
So they just fly all over the country with a gun and a badge.
That's a cool gig, man.
But nothing ever happens. I mean, like, out of the millions of people that fly, 3 people, including that idiot that I just had to, that was smoking.
But listen,
so nothing really happens.
That's
right?
not an easy job. You know how many shitty movies they have to watch on a regular basis?
And then, going up and down and everything else, it must be, absolutely off. By the way, what's the phone number and all that? Because nothing's happening on my screen.
888-STIRRD-101. Give us a call.
Is it Studio 2 you're in? Where are you right
That's
now?
right. We're in Studio 2.
You're in Studio 2? Okay.
Well, I wanted to tell you yesterday, I had a little incident that as soon as it was over, I said, I can't wait to tell Jay about this.
Really? You know what? Guys on OutQ talk like this.
Yeah. So,
I can't wait to tell Phil.
So, oh my God, I thought of you yesterday.
I know.
So I get on the train.
Big rough guys in their trucks go, hey, I can't wait to tell Max.
Hey, Mikey, I saw a cloud the other day. It looked like you.
So I get on the train to head home, and it's packed. Like, I don't know if you've seen the videos in like China where the cops are on the platform.
Japan too. They push you in,
and their
with a
job
stick.
is to shove you in.
Yes.
So it was like that type of pack. So, the door opens and everyone, all the herd files in. And all of a sudden, I start feeling an elbow shot to my back. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, who the fuck is elbowing me? I turn around and it's this older lady who's like, 4 foot whatever. And she's looking right at me and she's giving me the forearm shiv in my ribs. Like, get the fuck out of my way. I got nowhere to go. So I go, easy. We don't need to push. Relax. And she looks at me. She goes, I want to go. And I go, everybody wants to go. What do you mean? You think I want to stand here?
What nationality is she?
Stupid. That's what nationality she is.
But I couldn't tell by that accent. Is
That's
it Chinese?
what she sounded like. No, she was like, I don't know. She was Latin of some sort.
She was some Latin. That's your Latin voice?
I get.
I'm just trying.
I want to go. If I had some background music, that's what she sounded like. And so I'm like, look, everybody wants to just relax. And then she shoves this older woman, older than her, shoves her. And I go, hey, now all of a sudden I'm the air marshal on a fucking 7 train, right? And I go, hey, relax, okay? Stop pushing people. And she goes, you mind your own business. Like that.
Oh, wait a minute. What nationality
Now she's
was
Italian.
that? I don't know what that.
Now she's a chef.
You're going all over the place. Yeah.
Listen, just because your story didn't have impressions.
Well, no,
don't
I
shit
didn't
all
have
over
any
mine.
voices.
You could have done
My
an
guy
air
was
marshal
silent.
You could have done you could have made up who knows what an air marshal sounds like.
I don't know. But my perpetrator was completely silent as they handcuffed him. Yeah.
So I go, don't tell me to mind my own business. She's like, you better mind your own business, right? Now she's black.
She's just got everywhere.
No, but then I when I get in an argument with people, like a for real argument, I go 0 to 90, right? So all she says is, mind your own business. And I look at her and I see her shirts rolled up on her arms and she's got the hairiest arms I've ever seen on a woman. So of course, that's the one thing I go, why don't you mind your own business? Go to your friggin' electrolysis meeting. What I call her, Bubbles. I called her Bubbles, and like 7 kids behind me on the train started laughing. And then the comic in me's like, hey, who's here got a birthday, anniversary, anybody? But it was like, it silenced the train, it silenced her. It was good. I was proud
Last
of
night,
myself.
the wife and I are in bed. We saw the thing that shaves, the little tiny shaver with the light on it.
Yeah, I got that.
All the women that are in the thing, I've never seen so many women shaving hair off their faces, and they're all attractive women. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've been married a long time. I've never seen my wife shave anything off of her face, right? So, and did you see the hair on it? You see the big hairs on the thing? It has like the little light that shaves their hair. What is that thing?
See, I have a small one that I bought like at CVS for like nose. It's supposed to be a trimmer, but I use it
The
for
nose
my
hair
nose hairs.
thing doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Doesn't.
This one also has the eyebrow shaper. It's like the hair cutter and the eyebrow shaper. So, let's go to 888-STERN-101. Yes, Jeff of Cincinnati. How are you? The Jay Thomas Show with Shirley. How are you, Jeff? Yes.
Good, Jay. Hey, did you see on the news there's a diplomat from Qatar that was arrested smoking in a bathroom on a flight to Denver a couple of weeks ago. It was a almost an international incident.
You know what? I mean, Qatar. It's Qatar, right? It's
Qatar, Qatar.
You know, to be honest, I didn't see the guy because they wouldn't let me. I had to stay in the bathroom or whatever until they handcuffed him. Did it happen going into Denver?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because it turns out he was flying to Denver to visit the Supermax Federal Corrections prison where there was a terrorist being held in the Supermax.
Yeah, no, prison. That's famous. That guy's famous. The guy on my flight was not famous, and I think he was an American. It was really strange. And what do you get for that? What's the
well? I don't know.
What do you get for that?
If you're not a diplomat, you get jail. But this guy had diplomatic immunity because he was educated in the U.S. So he would not have had an accent, I suppose. But he was definitely flying into Denver.
And I know money-wise, it's definitely a $10,000 fine minimum
for smoking in the airplane.
Yeah. Because I always hear that and go, fuck, I wish I had that.
But you can screw in the bathroom and nothing happens to you.
Right. Unless
you can
smoke starts coming from your penis, then you're in trouble.
Right. Well, first of all, when anybody bangs on the door and you're in the bathroom, you're at your most vulnerable.
Do you still go, even on the plane, do you still go, who is it?
No, you know what I go? No, I always figure it's somebody who doesn't speak English, so I go, Ocupado! Ocupado!
Mind your own business.
All right, thanks. Thank you very much, Jefferson. No, you know what? Nothing famous happens to me, okay?
No one even wrote about this. You're the guy smoking in the toilet.
Right. What I like are the plastic handcuffs that are always available, Charles of West Virginia. Yes, Charles, how are you?
Hey, Jay, how are you today?
Good, thanks.
Hey, this is Charles. I talked to you about a month ago. I'm the 39-year-old grandfather.
I don't believe it.
And,
you're the 39-year-old grandfather? Uh-huh. You sure you didn't call the Maury Povich show? Yeah. What does that mean? Your daughter's like 4. First of all, in West Virginia, that doesn't shock me or anybody that's listening.
No.
All right?
Well, I haven't lived in West Virginia all my life, so I'm from Maryland.
So you're 39, and your daughter is how old with the grandchild?
She's 23.
She's 23. Well, okay.
Yes.
And you had her when you were 16 or something?
Yes, sir.
No TVs at the house, huh?
Are you still with the wife, the same wife?
Yes, sir.
Wow. What is that like when you're 16 and your wife was she 16 too? How old was she?
Yeah, we're the same age.
So you've been together with her, 33 years, right?
Yeah,
23. You've been 23 years together you went through adolescence with her. You were actually just entering puberty when you met her. What is that like to spend your time from teenage to adult? What is that like to be with the same person?
Well, we've been married 19 years, so at the beginning it was kind of on and off. You know what I mean? We were both young, so.
Yeah, now
you would break up. You would break up with her, and then you'd get back together. And
yes, sir, exactly.
Now you got an old broad. She's a whole 39 years old.
So now,
yeah.
And would she catch you when you were 18 with another 18-year-old girl? That kind of stuff, right?
I wasn't always focused on it. I'll say that.
You weren't always focused. I see.
Yes, sir. Hey, Jay, I have a question for you.
Sure.
I hate to change the subject. How do you feel about these 2 months of boxing going on? I know you're a boxing fan. You watched the Shelly Pavlik fight last week.
No, is it pay-per-view? You got to pay $50 to watch it?
No, sir. Shelly Pavlik was on HBO.
I usually watch the fights about a month after it's over.
Oh, really? Okay.
Hey, listen, I'm still on Super Bowl, 27.
He's on my plan, the Jewish cable system. When's
That's
that
right.
coming on?
What I do is, for 3 months, you know what I say? Don't tell me who won that fight, okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it when it's on. No, I don't go out of my way to watch every boxing match. But I tell you what's funny, though. What's amazing to me is how much more dangerous boxing is than MMA and ultimate
right.
fighting.
You're right.
That's the oddest thing to me, is that nobody has died in MMA or ultimate fighting. And of course,
Because
the guy
it stopped a lot quicker than boxing. Boxing,
It's
these
like
guys,
4 or 5 shots, and they,
that's
they
it.
stop.
I mean, you get knocked out. But these guys take punishment for 12 rounds. I mean, back in the day, I remember watching 15-round fights. I mean, these guys are just. There was a great thing on Real Sports. I don't know if you saw it, but it was all about Arturo Gatti.
He was a bleeder.
Arturo Gatti, Vernon Forrest, and the guy from. The other guy that died.
I'll tell you what kind
Alexis
of bleeder.
Arguello.
I was a middleweight, and I was a bleeder, and I had to stop fighting because I bled constantly. And you can't have blood flowing, especially in amateur boxing. But then my nose used to bleed having sex.
Was it the altitude when you were banging fat chicks?
No. I mean, I would just be having regular, sex or oral sex or whatever. And my nose would start bleeding. It was a real problem. I finally had to have surgery, doing it. But,
I just love that this guy's been talking to us from a gentle stream this whole time.
But it's funny. When you're a bleeder, you like watching other boxers who are bleeders. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
It's like, I go, hey,
chicks-
that guy's like me. The blood's everywhere.
It's like chicks who are on the rag. They like being around other chicks who are on the rag.
In L.A., you used to be able to go to a place called the Country Club, and they would have, thanks, Charles.
In
West
Reseda?
Virginia. Yeah.
I remember that.
Club.
I went to see Two Live Crew there when I was in high school.
So every sitcom actor, movie star, director owned a Mexican fighter.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, that's true.
It's the truth. I don't know if it's still true now, but
I know Sam Simon out there in L.A. He had
they all owned a Mexican. Every one of them owned a Mexican
championship.
And so you would go to the country club, and I guess it was a musical place most of the time, and then they'd put a ring in there, and you'd have food, and Sylvester Stallone would own a fighter, and various writers, directors would own these prize fighters. So I was working, remember the tennis shoe company called Pony? Remember that? Pony
Sure,
Tennis?
yeah.
So a guy talks me into buying into a prize fighter. He worked at a car wash during the day, and then he, trained at night, and I think it cost me $1,000. And if he ever won, I would get some percentage of it. So we're late to see his fight, right? And he, I guess, had been knocked out in the first 30 seconds even the guy I invest in, he gets knocked out. But he had these beautiful Pony tennis shoes that we had gotten him from the Pony company. And the executive was so mad. And he said, the guy gets knocked out. We got the Pony tennis shoes. It's pretty embarrassing. I said, well, next time, why don't we just put Pony on the soles of his shoes, so when he goes down. But I remember, guys would get hit, Shuley, and their mouthpieces would fly into your pizza.
Yeah.
Did you ever eat there? Did you ever sit there ringside and eat?
No,
and they would spit blood, and they would.
When I went to see
we'd all
Two Live
eat.
Crew,
We'd all have a hamburger, and there's always women at these things.
Yeah.
Strange women that have this kind of glass look in their eye that like to see guys getting the shit beaten out of them.
Yeah.
Of course, then I'm a bleeder, then I would take one of them home and I'd bleed on them, I'm a bleeder.
Give them a taste their own medicine. See how you like it. I'm going to bleed on you now.
You haven't lived. It's embarrassing when you know that you're bleeding and you look up and she goes, "What's the matter?" I go, "Oh, I love you, baby." I love you, baby. By the way, we love to feature people on the show. Kevin Kraft, by the way, has sent me a couple of his stunt videos, and last night I decided to take a look at them. Now, Kevin.
Now, let me ask you this, Jay, before you start.
Well, I want to play them, Kevin.
Well,
so get your two get head on fire, ready to go, Kevin.
What was more disturbing to you, that week of watching nothing but really sad documentaries like The Cove, where dolphins are being slaughtered,
or when I was hosting,
or Kevin's stunt videos?
Yeah. Now, and you know, Kevin's wide awake in the morning, and
he's a great kid, does his
wonderful
great job,
wonderful guy. But there are certain signs that let you know that something really terrible is going on in someone's life. One of them is the need to have tattoos everywhere, all over your body. You can say it's art. You can say whatever you want to say it is.
His shit is art, no doubt. It's a zombie with an eye coming off.
It's a mental problem. So he says, I'll send you a couple of my stunt clips.
Smart.
It's already been done. It would be like me doing, Dane Cook's material, It's already been
Nobody's doing Dane Cook's material.
But the Jackass guys did it. They're the millionaires. The Wild Boys did it. They're the millionaires. And so now whoever else does it doesn't have a chance. And so you have to try and do things that are kind of over the top. Have you ever made any money at all, Kevin, on your stunt videos at all?
I made a couple $100 selling a few clips to production houses.
And then what do they do with them?
They use them on like those kind of like America's Funniest Home Video type shows that are just compilations of internet clips.
Right. So
I got paid like $300 for one of my clips. That's
let's run the first one, Head on Fire. This is when you actually lit your own hair on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as we listen to it, it's not the event that's shocking. What it is it's the people around you. Now, who's holding the camera? A man or a woman?
It's this girl.
It's a girl holding the camera.
Yeah.
That's good. Is it a girlfriend?
It was a girl that I was hooking up at the time.
I see. That means you're just screwing her, but you don't like her?
Yeah.
That's
She's pretty gross.
And they're and she's gross, and that's kind of like these women that go to prize fights and enjoy seeing it. So this is Kevin, and you're so, what are you, drunk or you're stoned?
A little column A, a little column B.
Right. So you're looking into the camera, and you look like Governor Patterson from New York, your eyes. The blind guy. On Saturday Night Live, surely when the guy looks right into the camera, doesn't know where he is.
He looks like a cross between Patterson and Pat Morita.
Let's listen to Kevin Kraft. Here we go.
Okay, so I was reading in Fashion Weekly today that hair is totally out. So we're gonna have to fix
Kevin.
that.
Hold on. Okay. Oh shit.
Put it out.
Put it out. Put it out.
That was fucking awesome! Dude, you have no clue how cool that was.
Rewinding this. At last, I'm fashionable. Do
Do it again.
All right, now look. Who was the guy that thought it was so cool, Kevin?
Oh, that was just my buddy Glenn in the background.
And did you put anything on your hair to light it like that, or did? And by the way, put those on jthomas.com so you can see it.
It was that body spray. You know that stuff that chicks wear, that scented body spray? It's got like tons of alcohol in it. So the whole
top of your head lit up. And what's weird is also, Shuley, is that wherever people do these, it looks like they're in like a halfway house or something. There's always like the shitty kitchen window,
Yeah, with bars on it.
And the crummy kitchen and all. So where did you do this?
That was at my buddy Dominic's place in
of course it is.
Bethlehem, PA.
There you go. And the girl who was taken, I mean, she just thought it was the most exciting thing she'd ever seen, right?
Yeah. Well, after that, we got her to set her bare tits on fire.
I like the guy who was too busy doing a gravity bong hit, and he shows up towards the end and goes, "Do it again. Do it again, man."
She lit her tits on fire.
Yeah, it looked like 2 flaming fried eggs.
What did she use what did she put on there?
She put the same stuff that I put on my hair on her tits.
How long did she let it burn?
If
like
it
a
burned,
millisecond.
Yeah.
But if it burned her skin, it could have scarred her forever.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like
she definitely
had.
didn't let it burn long.
It sounds like she had small tits, so she was already scarred.
And so, I have to tell you, man, it really, I mean, I don't know anything about you, but now with the tattoos and this need for no money at all to light your hair on fire and to be with people that light their boobs on fire, there is something really wrong with you. And I mean, I'm just I don't even do it anymore for a living, but you've got a real messed up life, don't you, from your childhood?
No, not at all.
Yeah, absolutely you do.
No way.
Who's to say he's not normal and you're the one that's messed up?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not kidding you. There is something so wrong. When I looked at that and I thought, gee, this is not the guy that I know, who works, at Sirius. There's something terribly wrong with you.
No.
Yeah, there is.
I just like to have fun and goof off.
What about when you slug the guy in the face, the guy that takes the full shot to the face?
Oh, yeah. Well,
That's
that
video
dude,
number 2?
he had been following me around the party trying to show off to chicks. So, like, anytime there were girls around, he would, like, sneak up behind me and sucker punch me. So he finally was like, all right, you can hit me back, And I'm a tiny dude. I don't really
So
get
you
in
go,
fights
you're
lot,
at a
so.
party, and every time you turn around, a guy would sucker punch you.
Yeah.
Welcome to the party.
And this dude's like a behemoth, and I'm, a little twig. So he gave me a free shot. I've never punched anybody in the face before, so I didn't really know how much to give him. And
Can we see that?
Yeah, take a look at that, Sean.
Don't ruin the end. I want to see it.
And the guy, just takes a shot right to the jaw. It's a decent shot.
Hold on. Is that you in a thong, Kevin?
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Now I want somebody to punch me.
But Julie, doesn't it sound like if you saw a movie about these people, the next thing would be that somebody commits suicide. All these movies always have someone that kills themselves, or when they go home, you see the mother with the cigarette, and the beer, where you been?
In the double wide.
So you're just saying that you're normal and your life is normal, and you came to all of this in some normal way.
Yeah. I used to do this stuff when I was in high school. We used to just goof around, and it kind of just evolved into more stuff, and then we saw Jackass, and we were like, fuck.
Yeah, well, those guys, they're millionaires.
Yeah.
So to do it, and I'm not joking, it's like stealing somebody's act and trying to be a comic. It's over. It's done.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I think Johnny Knoxville and Bam Margera are millionaires. I don't think the rest of them are by any means.
I think the midget's a millionaire too.
Midget's doing other things.
Yeah, the midget's a millionaire.
Well,
yeah.
You'd be surprised how many projects that midget's involved in.
Do you have the shot to the face?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
I punched a girl.
Of course, this is radio.
Countdown. 1, 2, 3. Now you can hear this though.
Here we go.
2, 3. Oh! God damn!
Who's that girl?
I don't know. That was my first time meeting her.
Wow, that's a good shot, Kev.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Put both of those at jthomas.com so that you can see.
Put your hips in it a little more. He's done.
You've been listening to Let's Meet the Employees, a special feature of the Jay Thomas Show. Shuley's here, and we'll be right back. Robert Shimmel, the famous cancer comedian, will be here. Shuley. Women arm wrestlers and a woman that says, I'm not fat enough. All on the Jay Thomas Show at Howard 101. But now we've scoured, the audio video world, and we'll bring you. First of all, I think Kevin, what do you have right at your fingertips?
Ready to roll with right now.
Yeah, what are you ready to go
Bindy
with?
Irwin, the Jungle Girl.
Bindy Irwin, the dad, Steve Irwin, died. And by the way, I used to really like the wife. The wife was like this great-looking, kind of, outdoorsy woman that came on a vacation, I think, surely from Ohio or something.
She had that look in her eyes like a cult leader talked her into something, and she was just following no matter what.
Well, she got, before she had kids, she would wrestle the alligators, with Steve Irwin and stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, she's really, interesting and muscular, but really good looking. And the dad, Steve Irwin's father, had started, that animal park, 30 or so years ago. And Steve Irwin, or 40 years ago, when he was a little baby, was raised around alligators and snakes and everything else. That's why he, was so comfortable with it. After Steve Irwin dies, the woman inherits everything, takes over. I forget what her name is, whatever Steve Irwin's wife's name is, Mrs. Irwin. And the father and she, I guess, argued and she became so overbearing that he walked away from this animal park that he had started, 40 or so years ago, right? So I looked at that and I thought, well, she's like a complete nut. Then she's got the little girl doing a TV show. And she may be the creepiest kid on television. And if they have any child services, they're always talking about, they never take the kids away from John and Kate. They never take the kids away from the Octomom. And this kid doesn't have a chance. This is little Bindy Irwin.
Hey mate, this is Bindy Irwin here. I'd love to thank everyone for participating in the video competition. Everyone was fantastic. You little ripper, guys. Well, I couldn't pick everyone, but everyone had such creative and awesome ideas. It was really, really hard to choose, but only one lucky winner gets to come for my 10th birthday at Australia Zoo and help me celebrate. So, I'd like to
very animated, too.
She's like her daddy, right? She's trying to be like her dad.
Like a young female Jim Carrey.
Who gets to come to
Turn her up.
Okay, without further ado, envelopes, please.
This kid scares the crap out of me.
Jesus.
And here's the envelope for third place. Here we go. Third place winner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who gives She's 10 years old, gonna be 10?
Who gives a shit about third fucking place?
I think she's 12 now. The video says she's 12 now. This is from her 10th birthday.
Crikey adventure, sent in by Brendan Benton from Loganville, Georgia. Wow, you won $1,000 Australian.
She's like a little robot, right?
She talks to little kids like they're little kids, but she's a little kid, and it just it fucks my head up.
When you caught that blue salamander, the blue spotted salamander.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness, amazing! My brother loved it as well. Well, great job! Woohoo! Could I
So
have
she's 9 years old.
A
when she's doing
picture of
it.
someone's balls from the set.
And first place is Shuli Agar.
All right. Jesus.
Second place winner is...
Yeah.
Now we're invested.
That's not supposed to be how you're raised as a child.
Second place winning video is...
Quiet, Jake.
Yeah.
World's biggest Croc Hunter fan. Woo! Sent in by...
All right, get it out. Take it. Take it out. That's creepy little. Here's another creepy kid. Sarah Palin. I've never seen. Usually when you have an illegitimate child, it's embarrassing. Of course, I had a illegitimate son, gave him up for adoption, and it took me, most of my life to recover from it. The woman that gave him up never ever spoke of it, never told anybody and everything else. It's usually a heartbreaking, heart-wrenching thing. Little Bristol Palin gets knocked up in that ridiculous town in Alaska. She's the governor's daughter.
In all fairness, what else are you going to do in that town?
Well, she signed the abstinence paper.
Yeah,
She signed that little paper, and she couldn't get laid fast enough. The guy's naked in some magazine now, and he's a terrible dad and everything else. And so now Bristol Palin is doing public service announcements for other little girls who get laid. And let me just say this to every person that's listening. When an uncovered penis goes into a vagina and it deposits something called sperm, the sperm can swim to something called an egg, and a child is produced. Okay? That's how it works. Right, Shuli?
Yeah.
That's how it works.
I wish you could have told me that one a little sooner.
So when you are about to have sex with someone and you see the penis with nothing covering it to stop the sperm from going into unless you want to have a child, you're supposed to cover it with a condom. Unless, of course, if you're a religious person and you believe that sperm that doesn't find its way to an egg is sacrilegious. That's either religious or incredibly stupid. So this is Sarah Palin's daughter, who is so stupid that after she signs this thing not to screw, she doesn't just get screwed, she gets screwed at the most fertile time of her life and the time of the year. So let's
On the
listen
back of
to
the contract, she wrote the hotel room she's at for him to come fuck her.
let's listen to Bristol Palin.
What if I didn't come from a famous family? What if I didn't have all their support? What if I couldn't finish my education?
It's like the Tiger Woods commercial.
What if I didn't have all these opportunities? Believe me, it wouldn't be pretty. Pause before you play.
So is she saying that her child is a mistake?
And is there an Asian man playing one of those old guitars in the background? What is that?
No, that's a little dinky thing that kids play. Is she
in an
saying
opium den?
Is she saying that the child is a mistake? That her child is a mistake?
I got to hear this again.
Yeah,
I don't know what she's saying.
Everything I just said is when you see a raging penis coming at you that's uncovered, in it, it's got the juice that will make the offspring.
Baby juice.
So now this is Bristol Palin. Now, I think it's saying if you don't have rich or supportive parents who are going to take you in even though you're a little slut, then don't do it. Shuli, what do you think the message is saying?
What if I would have let him put it in my poo-poo cave?
There you go. If you don't have supportive parents, only do anal. Let's listen again.
And really, in all fairness, not a famous family, famous mom. Okay,
that's right.
Let's be honest.
Well, no, the dad's a famous
family.
Yeah.
What if I didn't have all their support? What if I couldn't finish my education? What if I didn't have all these opportunities? Believe me, it wouldn't be pretty.
Yeah.
That raw.
Pause before you play.
What if I didn't have a grown man's balls on my eyes like diving goggles?
I mean, I got to tell you, the balls that these people have, I mean, to me, I would much rather go back to the old days where when you got knocked up, they sent you away for, a year to some home.
What if I couldn't finish my... Obviously, you're not that bright to begin with, so what do you give a shit about finishing your education?
Well, listen, I'm the worst. When I see the whitest people in the world with children of whatever skin color they can possibly get from around the world, and I'm in the mall. The other day I saw a woman with 2 Chinese kids, 2 black kids, and an Indian girl or whatever. There's like 6, 7 kids. They're all her kids. And I really wanted to stop and go, okay, we see you. We see you. Why is it, if everybody's getting knocked up and there's all these illegitimate kids in the United States, why can't we get any of those kids, Shuli? Why can't you get I don't get that.
I don't either.
Don't we still have teen pregnancy and they're giving the kids up and everything?
Yeah.
How come you never see an American kid get adopted? I don't
know.
A kid from Cleveland or, New Jersey or what? I mean, I don't.
In all fairness, who wants a kid from Cleveland?
Yeah, but why do you have to go to China or how about the woman that put the kid from Russia back on the plane with the note?
Meanwhile, I got news for you. The only thing people are pissed off about is that the kid flew by himself.
That's really what they're upset about, yeah.
And
good and well, everybody takes care of kids by themselves in a plane.
I mean, listen, people return cars, okay? You're telling me she's out of line for returning a kid? You're just pissed because the kid flew alone, that's all. Just be honest.
We're also enamored in this world with men that sing like women.
Oh, we sure are.
We love it.
We like to call them the Bee Gees.
And Wayne Newton. Remember Wayne Newton, who sang like a girl in the beginning?
Yeah. And then
became
everybody
Uberman.
started doing the Wayne is Indian.
And the mafia thing. He started looking like a mafia don.
I know, it's like
so. And he used to have the Phil Mickelson tits.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember once sitting with my mother, and Wayne Newton comes on and he sings Donka Shane, right? And my mother goes, "Oh my God, John, he has secondary female characteristics." I said, what is that? I'm a little boy. I said, what is that? She goes, oh, I read about it in Reader's Digest. My mother got everything out of Reader's Digest. When you're a boy and you sound like a girl, it's a disease called secondary female characteristics. Now, I don't think there's anything, but I never forgot that. I think they jolted this poor bastard with so much testosterone that he thinks, his last name is, Corleone or something, right? So now the newest guy that sings like a girl is he in the Chinese version of? I
think it's Taiwan.
Taiwan. Well, you realize that
I think it's like, tie your shoes, that country.
Did you know until 10 or 12 years ago, we considered China Taiwan? Did you know that?
I still consider it Taiwan. Did you know that?
Well, because, we did not, consider the Red Chinese. They were our enemy. They were evil. And the Taiwanese were the people that were our friends. And so they were China, right? So now no one mentions Taiwan anymore. And because we owe China, $3 trillion or whatever, they're our pals. This guy is from Taiwan and he sings the Whitney Houston song, right?
Mm-hmm. From The Bodyguard, right?
Let's listen first, and then you won't believe what he did last night. And I can say this because I know nobody watched this thing on television last night, which was so amazing.
I know what it is. He banged a chick.
No. He's a little fat Chinese guy, Lin Yu Chun. Let's listen to, this is a guy. Here we go.
上周以 Amazing Grace 技压4座的林玉群，一直想与苏芷瑜
手势很流行。
小胖和苏芷瑜在此战狭路相逢，做好准备应战的。
Here he is.
Here we go.
This is a guy.
Here we go.
爱不懂 only 变 your way. So
it's Mo Howard.
But I know I'll think of you every.
Kind of looks like Odd Job from the Bond films.
You're right.
He looks like Fat Job.
Blow Job.
Come on, sing more like a girl.
Wake up and go to sleep, knuckleheads.
And
Love you. He's more of a man than Whitney Houston will ever be. Turn him up.
Let's pump this shit up. Woo.
Okay, that's good.
I'm trying to think, but nothing's happening.
Now, the George Lopez show is on TBS, right? Where Conan O'Brien has decided to go so no one will ever watch him again.
The Siberia of broadcasting.
And by the way, Jay Leno is now prohibitive #1 late night and is beating Letterman, beating everybody else, and is the #1 late night guy and hasn't lost since he came back on the air. Do you know that, Shuli?
Yes, I'm aware of that, and kind of disappointed.
Yeah, and now Letterman's losing and can't get laid, so it's even a worse week for him.
They burned his banging couch, I heard.
They flew Lin Yu Chun into the United States, and they put him on the George Lopez show last night, and they had him sing a duet with William Shatner.
It'd be great if they did it with Whitney Houston and he could blow her off the stage. She sounds awful now.
If I was running TBS, I don't know how I would have done it, but I would have run ads night and day that the fat Chinese guy, and I'd have said it just like this, a fat Chinese guy that sings like Whitney Houston will sing a duet with William Shatner, who I think thinks he can sing. Do we have it from last night's?
Yep.
Here we go.
I love this song.
Turn around.
God, Jesus.
Turn it up.
It's Max.
It is.
Turn around, bright eyes. Turn around, bright eyes.
He's
not so round eyes.
I don't think Shatner knows the song.
Shatner's doing his patented talk through the song move.
Yeah.
Like Rocket Man.
Is it as low for everybody else as it is for me?
Yeah.
All right, turn it off. Put all these on jthomas.com. I apologize that we can't get the sound better, but it's just, I mean, they're running out of ideas. They're running out of ideas at an amazing rate on TV. I mean, they must have spent $10,000 getting this, this egg roll like person from Taiwan over here.
It would be great if Shatner walks up on stage and goes, "Oh, you want to sing with me?"
No, I'm looking for my duck sauce. Do you have any more duck sauce? Hit it, Mr. Tsulu.
The Geico commercials run so much that even if you collect the union minimum, if you're the voiceover person, just the union minimum of the Geico commercial, and I know this from, if I were to have that account, it would be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Just the guy that does the tag. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a guy named D.C. Douglas. And, could you play the Geico commercial? He's the voiceover guy at the end, right?
Hold on one sec. We don't have that pulled up yet.
Yeah, he's not the old guy that talks to the gecko. He's the guy that does the spot.
The tag at the end, right?
That's just tag at the end.
Right.
And you get paid as much as people that worked all day filming the commercial. The voiceover person gets the same amount of money as anybody else in the commercial. And surely they run it so many times that they probably have had a buyout with him. It's got to be in the $250,000 to $300,000 or $400,000 level. I'm telling you, it's huge money.
It's more than the pill commercials now. They're on,
it's huge. And it runs so much that it saves the money, to do a buyout. Do we have him? Just his voice? Here we go.
Why? I'll tell you why. Because people trust advertising icons. Some bloke tells you to go to Geico.com and you're like, really? And just who might you be? But a gecko, he can be trusted. I ask if you want to save hundreds on car insurance and you're like, yes, thank you. Mind babysitting my kids? And I'm like, of course I'll sit with the kids.
I hate this gecko.
You're like a brother to me.
I blame Bindy.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Okay, hear that guy?
That sounded like a tough day at work for him.
I think that's DC. Is that him, Garrett? That's DC Douglas, right?
No,
right. Okay. I believe that the tag guy is DC Douglas. He decides to leave a message for the people that are the tea bagger people.
Mm.
Do we have the message he left for them?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Hi there. I'm doing a paper about Freedom Works, and I was wondering if somebody could give one more piece of information I need to get from you guys. I just need to know what the percentages of people that are mentally retarded who work for the organization and are members of it. So if you could give me a call back at 323-899.
Okay, but he put his phone.
Percentage of people that are mentally retarded who are working for Freedom
Keep
Works
listening.
and are following it. And one final thing also, wondering what your plans are, how to spin it when one of your members does actually kill somebody. Wondering if you've got an actual PR spinning routine planned for that, or are you just going to take it when it happens? Just curious. So give me a call when you get a chance. Thanks so much.
Okay. That's something called Freedom Works, which is like part of the Tea Party thing. Now, allegedly, right, Garrett? Yeah. That is supposed to be the announcer, the tag announcer from Geico. And he was watching TV, and he saw whatever it was, the demonstration. And so he left a message and a phone number, allegedly. Geico fired him.
What an idiot.
They got rid of him. And I just read that. If I'm wrong, and DC, Douglas is listening, you can call me and we'll fix it. But here's the other thing. When you make like $300,000 or $400,000, you would have been better off calling up and pretending you were the friggin' lizard.
Do an impression. Mind your own business, Like,
yeah, do what a shoe.
Are you the Tea Party?
But he gave his phone number, and somehow supposedly, allegedly, they traced it back to him.
Yeah, they
found out
it.
he was the Geico announcer. And then here's how major corporations work. They don't care if you killed Christ, okay? They want your money, right? And so they don't care what you are, but they know that there is some huge amount of people who are right-wing or whatever and follow the teabaggers, the so-called patriots that suck nuts into their mouths, okay? And want to overthrow the government and all that stuff, those people. And so he let everybody know somehow who he was by his phone number. And Geico goes, well, that's a huge portion, right, Shirley, of people that would buy car insurance.
Sure, absolutely.
But politically, they wouldn't buy it if they knew we had this guy.
Right.
So I read that they got rid of him.
Sure.
That they canned him.
I believe it. I mean, there's people getting fired for twittering stuff, from their jobs. And
well, you know what's happening today? Every agency in New York and L.A. has auditions to replace that guy.
I'm surprised you're at work, to be honest with you.
Well, I remember it's only 5 a.m. here.
That's right.
My agency doesn't open till 9.
All right.
So
the last hour is going to be best of?
I got a call last week you're not going to believe. They're looking to replace Gilbert Godfrey as the Aflac Duck.
No.
I'll tell you why. I mean, I'm just guessing.
Aflac, what?
I bet you he wants more money. So they were probably renegotiating with him, and he wants a bunch of money. I don't know. But I think Kevin Meaney. I think Kevin Meaney read. I read for the original one. Aflac.
Aflac.
Kevin Meaney was.
Aflac.
Well, they wanted a duck that really could fly if they used Kevin.
Kevin, we don't want our customers to have to shoot the duck through their TV.
So any more audio, video, any more of that stuff?
I think that about does it.
Well, we go through the whole thing. That's it. Shirley is here, and of course, it is the Jay Thomas Show.
Little trick daddy.
Go ahead now.
Early in the morning, little trick daddy for you on the Jay Thomas Show, was it?
Figure it out.
What the world's gonna... I just made an executive decision. We were supposed to have these women arm wrestlers on, Shirley, but they're not really arm wrestlers. They're kind of actresses or something, and it's performance theater or something like that.
Not to mention, we were going to have arm wrestling women on the phone.
Yeah, but I thought they were going to be real arm wrestlers. But Garrett, they're like
He's on the phone shutting them down right now.
Yeah, they're in like the theater or something like that. The woman I'm really waiting for, I really can't wait for her to come on. Donna Robinson, and I believe she's in...
Jay, so her name's Donna Simpson. We wrote the wrong name on the top.
They sound similar. It's fine.
Yeah.
The fat lady's name is Donna Simpson, not Donna Robinson.
Yeah. Donna Robinson's actually very thin.
She must be from England because she weighs 43 stones.
No, she's from New Jersey.
They don't have a scale.
Why do they have stones here? Right?
I don't know. It was the article that was about her.
Oh, Jay, we wrote that wrong. She's 43 and stoned.
So cancel the arm wrestlers because they're actresses.
Yeah, they're canceled.
Yeah, we don't want them. But Donna Simpson already weighs, I guess she weighs, 400 or 500 pounds?
Yeah.
Something like that. She wants to be 1,000 pounds. So, and this is why I love her. She's going in the other direction. She wants to be the fattest person or the world's fattest woman. That's what she says.
Wow.
She's 42 years old, has children. She insists that she is healthy, and despite now needing a mobility scooter,
which is a rider moving truck,
she wears an XXXXXXL dress. And
she's already the Guinness Book of World Record holder for the world's fattest mom.
Would you get her? Listen, sometimes we promote something like this, and then they listen and they decide they don't want. Call her right now. I don't want to lose her.
It's not like she's going to leave.
And I'll tell you why I love this. I am so sick of everybody losing weight on TV, and you almost know that everyone you see on that show, The Biggest Loser, all those shows, that they're going to gain that weight back. And many people gain more than they've lost. And,
by the way, 43 stone, 603 pounds.
Wow. I'm in love.
And she can't call in early because she's on one of those radio tour things.
She's on a radio tour?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So,
Tell her it's Richard Simmons. She'll get on the phone in 2 seconds.
Well, no, Richard would hate this.
Right.
Would rate. She needed a team of 30 medics.
To put the dress on her?
No, to deliver her daughter.
Ooh.
To deliver her daughter by cesarean birth.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That must have been like cutting the tauntaun open in Empire Strikes Back.
When the whale blew up and the fat just went
Yeah, holy shit.
You might expect her long-term partner, Philippe, to advise her to slim down.
I am a long-term partner.
But instead, he encourages her to eat more.
What is he, a Jewish grandfather?
He's a belly man, she says. She eats 12,000 calories a day.
Oh, my God.
So we will have her on. I mean, I cannot wait. I absolutely can't wait.
She's at a Denny's. She looks at the menu and she goes, sounds good.
Yeah.
Send it over.
And then Robert Shimmel, who I'm sure is performing somewhere in New York, will come in and just kind of, appear. And you can call us at 888-STERN-101. Jimmy of Massachusetts, how are you? Jay Thomas here. Shuli's also...
Eric on my fan page writes,
yeah.
Wake up that tubby. We need content.
The audio was too low for me. By the way, let me apologize. I don't get the same equipment that Howard has, and so they put us in shitty studios. There was a studio we did use, right, Kevin?
That a regular studio
that had all kind of really, great sound equipment and everything else. And I don't know why they do it, but they put me in another studio, and that's why the sound was so shitty. So, why is the sound so shitty, Kevin?
I don't know. It might have just been YouTube. I mean, I had the board
no volume control or anything.
It's
embarrassing. I mean, we talk about this, we prepare it, and then you run it. It's like
Bush League is what it is.
It is.
Amateur hour.
Really, it's like when I was in Pensacola, for Christ's sake.
But in all fairness, YouTube does have some shitty videos on there where the volume's really screwed up.
But every one of them was low. I mean, I could barely hear William Shatner singing with the fat Chinese
low. The
guy.
other ones were fine.
Yeah. All right. Jimmy of Massachusetts. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Jimmy. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, Jimmy. How are you?
Fine. What's your problem with the Tea Party, man?
Well, I'll tell you what the problem is, and I've said this before. None of you have read the history books, and let me tell you the first one. Did you realize this? And you can go check this. The Boston Tea Party, do you realize that the price of tea had been cut in half prior to the so-called Boston Tea Party? And it had nothing to do with being charged too much money for tea. And in fact, back then, people didn't even drink tea because it was an expense. And it didn't even become anything that anyone talked about in the United States until in the 1920s, kids had Boston Tea Parties so they could dress as Indians. And so what's weird to me, and the same thing with guns, and I'll say this, I mean, I'm a history major. I went back and looked at my old history books, and you can do the same thing. In the United States, since the beginning of the colonies, when the militia needed guns, none of their home guns were reliable, so we always went to the government to get our guns, always. And then after you fought the British or the Indians or whoever you fought, you turned your guns back into the armory where they were cleaned and fixed and everything else. And then the next time a war came, you didn't grab your gun off the wall. They were inaccurate. And so what I'm saying is that the idiots in the Tea Party don't know anything about history. And the stupid Democrats ought to be reading a history book to these assholes because they're absolutely incorrect.
The fact is, the Tea Party is not based on the Boston Tea Party.
What's it based on?
It's based on a comment by Rick Santelli on the floor of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange saying he was going to have a tea party in Lake Michigan because the government was paying people's mortgages.
Nerd alert.
That's what the tea party's based on. Do you agree with the bankrupting of this country?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you want to hear something? I'm going to tell you. You don't want. I'm going to tell you this right now. If they hadn't have given all of the money to the banks and to the car place and everything else, millions more people would be out of work. It's a pain in the ass, but it's almost like your brother-in-law or a cousin or a relative that doesn't have money, and you give them money until they get back on their feet. Now, you may hate it, but that's the absolute truth. That's the absolute truth.
Stupid.
It isn't
that
stupid.
That is the dumbest comment I've ever heard somebody say.
No, you know what's stupid is we're talking about the Tea Party when there's a 600-pound woman that we could be asking her how many medics did it take to knock her up. Okay?
Yeah, well, she can't call in right now, right?
Yeah, no, she's unable to call in.
Phone.
The phone fell in her lap, and there's 30 people looking for it right now.
Jay made a moronic comment. I'd like to call him on it. And he can't.
That's fine. Yeah,
it's early. There's got to be more.
You know what? You can say anything you want to say, but what's funny about it is, to me, is that if the banks had been let, and by the way, Bush's guys feel the same way. The Republican guys said, "Holy shit, we can't let these banks all go." You just can't do that in the world today. It's not like you and me with a credit card. It would absolutely, and it will eventually, destroy the world economy, and we are too small to understand it. Now, that's the truth.
But, Jay, you have a problem with people getting together and saying that spending $12 trillion that can never be paid back, that's already put our kids and grandkids in hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt before they're even born, that's a bad thing. Those people are moronic. For fearing for the future of that country.
Jimmy, as soon as the economy comes back, which it will.
It's not going to come back.
Oh, baloney. In 1929, it came back. It came back in 1952. It came back in 1970.
It took a world war to get us out of that. A world war.
I didn't want to bring this up earlier and embarrass you, but the guy in Chicago was referring to the Boston Tea Party.
Yeah.
He said he was going to have it loosely, but it was based on the mortgage bailout that Obama pushed through.
You know what, Jimmy?
He was going to have a tea party.
Has it affected you at all? This is, I mean this. Have you gotten up in the morning and what has affected you about all of this?
What is what?
How has it affected your finances? The bailout, the Tea Party, how has it affected your finances?
Because the fact is, inevitably, very soon you're going to have massive inflation where all my food prices and fuel prices are going to go skyrocketing. The fact is, the unemployment rate is going to stay incredibly high, and more companies are going to move overseas because they can't afford to do business here in this country because of the stifling regulations and everything else. That's going to affect every single one of us, Jay. And the fact is, when people who actually have a job and pay taxes get together and complain about it, they're called crazy racists and a bunch of assholes who put nuts in their mouth. That's my problem with that.
I pay more taxes than you've ever seen, and you are absolutely wrong, and you will never feel any of the stuff that you're warning me against, ever. Ever. You'll never.
How are we going to pay? Tell me how you paid. Have you ever tried to sat back and try to realize how much $1 trillion is? $1 trillion.
It's a lot of money.
Let me tell you, if you tried to count to $1 trillion, counting one digit per second, it would take you 37,000 years to count to $1 trillion. This country is in $12 trillion worth of debt. How did that ever get paid back?
It will never, ever affect you, and I don't care what happens to my kids and my grandkids. I only care about me. I only care about me.
Wrecked her. Damn near fisted her.
Jimmy, you want to worry about your grandkids and get mad and everything else? Go ahead. I mean, you're so upset now, it's unbelievable. And I know I pay more taxes than you do, and I don't. In fact, I would pay your taxes. I don't give a shit.
So why don't you send this extra check into the IRS then?
I do. I've never not voted for a tax. I am lucky to live here. I like the lights that come on. I like the cops that ride down the street. I like when the fireman comes. I like when the public schools open. I like all of that. It will never affect you, and it's not affecting any of the assholes that are showing up in Washington.
That's what Martin on my page says. It hasn't affected him. Neither has illegal immigration, but he hates that too.
Yes, of course. That's right. Yeah. But I tell you what, Jimmy, would you check in with me every 30 days? And when it finally affects you, I will take it all back. So now until I leave Sirius, until I'm not here, I don't care if it takes 10 years. Every 30 days, call me back, and as soon as it affects you, physically affects you, I will apologize and take it back.
If you were to swallow 1 trillion pennies, a penny a second,
take it 37 years.
Your ass would get torn apart taking a shit.
Hey, not 37 yet, 37,000 years.
Hey,
right,
here's a question. How long did it take you to know that fact? How much time did you waste learning that shit?
So, Jimmy, I made a deal with you. And here's the thing. Maybe I'm incorrect. Maybe I'm totally incorrect. Okay, fine. Let's just make it in 30 days. Call me back, and when it affects you, I will take it back.
And for as angry as you guys are, you think you'd pick a tougher name than the Tea Party.
I'm not. The Tea Party.
You know, I mean, my daughter's going to have one of those with stuffed animals in a couple of years.
So Jimmy, listen, Jimmy, I'll give you my home friggin' phone number, and when it affects you, I want you to call me.
Why not change your name to something aggressive that'll get people's attention? Like,
I'll tell you what I read today.
Twat punchers.
You want to hear the truth? The economy is not better. The economy is just as bad now as it was 3-4 years ago, long before they announced it. But guess what? Americans are spending money because they can't stand not to spend. So we're not in debt because of something somebody did. We're in debt because we like being in debt.
And we're in debt because the federal government is spending everybody's
bullshit.
future.
We're in debt because we buy 52-inch TVs, and every homeless person has a cell phone. Okay, we don't need all that crap.
When the U.S. dollar collapses and disintegrates, how are you going to buy that 50-inch screen television?
When it happens, please call me.
How are you going to live with $200 a barrel oil? How are you going to live then?
When it happens, call me, because you're saying it's going to happen, and I'm going to say right now, I'll believe it when I see it, and when it just starts to happen, I'll say you're correct. Not when we're in the middle of it, but so every 30 days, would you please give me a call?
Yeah, that's fine. I will do that.
All right, thank you. Right.
I didn't hear what you guys were saying. I was texting a homeless guy. What?
No, you know what, Shuli? Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you very much. That's the truth. It's like, all of these warnings for my entire life, and I've yet to see anything. I've never gone, oh, it happened. It's either they bail us out or they give us money. It's like,
I hear this banter and all I think of, Xbox, headphones, Modern Warfare 2, Calgon, take me away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to hear it.
Well, that's fine. Yeah. I agree. But when people are always, if somebody's going to ask me why I'm pissed off, I actually feel the same way you do.
Why are they so angry, Jay?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. I'm the one that ought to be angry. I've paid all kind of taxes. I've invested, lost money. I've done, when they say, oh, a guy made, too much money and he's the CEO of a company. He made, let's say he made $30 million. He had to spend it. So it goes back into the economy. It's like it doesn't go away. It goes somewhere. It's odd. It's like the money doesn't go anywhere. It stays. Now, you may want to make $32 million, but look, if Howard didn't make $100 million, we wouldn't have jobs.
Right.
So Howard leaves, and who knows what happens to us, right or wrong?
Absolutely.
Right? Okay. That's the same thing with the CEO of a big company.
Right.
If he leaves and the company closes and the government doesn't prop his ass up, what happens to those people? No one knows. But this guy knows, so every 30 days he'll check in with me. And when it affects him, I'll send him a check.
I don't know what you said to him, but you must have got him with something good, because this guy Rama on my fan page
Rama?
Rama. He just writes one word: burn. You got him. You got him with something, and he doesn't explain what it is. But
Tim of Staten Island, yes. How are you, Tim? No, and I apologize. I know everybody gets boring, and I don't know what I'm talking about and all, but it's like they've had the same argument since we started the stupid country, you know?
Jesus
this country.
Christ. Tell me about it, Jay.
What do you want me to
What the
do?
fuck?
I mean, it's the same shit all the time. Oh, this guy's too rich and the government's no good. All right. So the next president they'll hate. I mean, you know, what difference does it make?
I didn't give a fuck. I mean, why not just... Where were the Tea Parties when Bush was in office?
yeah, good question.
I mean...
Hey, I got to tell you something. I read yesterday that we kill so many civilians now in Afghanistan because anybody we see with a rag on their head, we blow them up like in 2 seconds. But I would do the same thing. If a car is driving real fast toward my checkpoint, I'm going to blow the car up.
Light it up.
Absolutely. Light it up.
Yesterday, Jay?
Light it up. And now they're saying, well, you know, we got to stop it. Well, no, we don't. Just shoot them all. In World War II.
They got to stop. They got to stop it, not us.
In World War II, we used to blow up the whole town. We killed men, women.
Carpet bomb. You ever hear that?
So we can't fight a war. And so what we ought to do is get rid of all of the press.
Why don't we put rubber bullets in our guns, too?
Light up Afghanistan, and then about a month later go, you know, it's kind of okay over there now.
Yeah, things seem to have quieted down.
And what's amazing is we don't see any more people wearing rag hats. You know?
In fact, we don't even see mountains anymore.
You got to kill them all or go home. You can't do this thing in the middle. People go, what about after World War II? We dropped 2 giant bombs on them. You know, Japanese people's eyes were regular sized until that bomb hit. You know that, don't you?
That's a fact.
It's from blinking.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yes, Tim, go ahead.
And rice, it's binding.
I get my education from you, Jay.
Sure.
I learned yesterday, and I actually have a short attention, and I have an attention deficit disorder, so I kind of remember half of it. I wanted you to explain again, if you can, what a slave in a pond is at the Masters.
Oh, yesterday I was talking about the Masters, and they were talking about that they invented the Arnold Palmer there, Shuley, which is iced tea and lemonade, right? I said the other thing they invented was black coffee, which is also called the slave in the pond at Augusta. At Augusta, in Augusta, Georgia, Bobby Jones and all of these bigots that started the Masters did not allow black people. They made Lee Trevino and Lee Elder and Chichi Rodriguez's wives eat in the kitchen because they wouldn't allow people of color to mix with the whites. And so every time I see one of these bigots from Augusta, Georgia, and the Masters, and everybody's kissing their asses and everything else, they, as far as I'm concerned, are like, it's like playing golf at a KKK country club, as far as I'm concerned.
So what I wanted to say is that I'm with Shuley. Instead of getting so angry, like Shuley thinks about Xbox 360 Modern Warfare headsets, I think about drinking a slave in a pond, a couple of Percocets, and Jay Thomas.
By the way, I took Vicodin for 3 days.
Did you itch like a mother?
No, nothing really happened.
Sometimes that happens to me with Vicodin.
Because I was sick, and somebody said take a Vicodin and you won't be painful, and it didn't really do. But you know what? I talked to a doctor yesterday. He said he has patients that take 7-8 Vicodin a day.
Did it put you in a good mood?
No, it kind of didn't do anything. I guess maybe I needed to take all 3 at once, right?
Yes, that's what I do.
So I didn't take enough Vicodin. I see.
Take 4 Vicodins.
There's Ira the Weatherman. Take 4 Vicodins.
Dr. Ira.
Tim of Staten Island, thank you very much.
Hey, Staten Island, listen, you're invited over to the 7 Seas restaurant.
Here we go. All right. Stay where you are. She wants to be 1,000 pounds, and she's only at 600, and we're already in love. Jeff Furlot will also be here, and Shuley is around, and we're all together at Howard 101. I hate getting this excited, but we're waiting hopefully for Donna Simpson, who weighs over 600 pounds and is heading for the 1,000-pound mark. and her boyfriend is all for it. She wants to be the world's fattest mother, and we hope to talk to her in a few minutes. Also, if you haven't been listening all morning, like we've been forced to, go to jthomas.com. You'll see Kevin Kraft, who is the technical advisor of the J. Thomas Friday morning show here at Howard 101, light his hair on fire and punch a guy in the face. That's right. And you'll also see the links to everything, hopefully, that we've run today, including William Shatner singing with the overweight Chinese man who sings like Whitney Houston last night on the George Lopez show. Let's go now. The Jay Thomas Show, our overseas correspondent, Jeff Furlot. Come in. Where are you, Jeff?
Jeff Furlot reporting live from London's Heathrow Airport. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Jay, the skies here are darker than Manute Bull's taint.
That's dark.
All planes incoming and outgoing have been grounded for weeks now in England. And the only person that's really happy about this is Pope Benedict. Because they were going to arrest him.
Yes, I know.
The Holy Father could not be reached for comment because he's now at a screening of This Is It, Michael Jackson's new movie. But the Icelandic government has informed me that they are now going to employ Donna Simpson to sit her ass on the volcano and snuff it out. With this report from London, England, this is Jeff Furlot signing off. Back to you in the studio.
Okay. I've never been so happy to hear a report into my life. Robert Shimmel will be here. We don't know where he's performing, but he'll come in. He's the comedian. He got the horrible cancer. Looked like he was going to die. Married his daughter's girlfriend. Then the wife took care of him, even though he had left her. And then he caught the girlfriend screwing around, and he was screwing around, and they're done. And I don't know how you tell jokes through all this, Shuley, but he somehow, managed to do it.
This guy is on a roll.
Thank you. Ira the Weatherman. Join us at 888 Stern 101. And you can, I'm sorry we enjoy ourselves so much. I apologize. I hate to hear people laugh at their own shit. It's
fun, though. Jay,
yes,
this is the happy show.
It is the happy show. That's what we call it. It is, we talked a little bit about government, but I think I want to go over a bunch of things that are happening in the news. There were these videos. A law was passed by Congress, which, by the way, passes the laws. And then the Supreme Court interprets the laws to tell whether they are constitutional or not. But the only person that can pass a law is the Senate and the House of Representatives, right? The Congress. I think the House of Representatives can pass certain laws. The Senate has a lot to do with it, and then some things have to be, ratified by both houses of Congress. Okay, so here's the law. You ready, Shuley?
Yeah.
If you depict a living animal being intentionally maimed, mutilated, tortured, wounded, or killed, okay, it was against the law for you to show a living animal being intentionally maimed, mutilated, tortured, or killed. Now that sounds like kind of a normal, that sounds right, doesn't it?
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes, that sounds absolutely proper and correct.
In the opinion of Congress, they crafted the law to stop what they call crush videos, which would typically show women in high heels smashing small animals to death.
Oh
a lot of yappy, that's right, a lot of yappy dogs, and killing them, and people would masturbate to the dogs being smashed and murdered. Bunny rabbits were being smashed and killed. And also, a guy named Robert Stevens would show dog fighting videos. The dogs killing each other and everything else. Okay. So they went in front of Congress. It went in front of the Supreme Court. And Robert Stevens says that his First Amendment rights of free speech were violated, right? The court voted 8-1 that he was correct.
Oh my God! Why?
So as of 2 days ago, and I was just watching one a few minutes ago, you can go online and they're back on again. You can watch dogs killing each other. And I was masturbating not 30 minutes ago to little puppies being smashed by a woman in high heels. And you can go back and do that. And yeah, go ahead.
I mean, not everyone should get all the rights. Seriously. Like, we don't, for what? What are you doing with that information? It's just, you don't need certain rights. I'm sorry. Some people just shouldn't get them.
In siding with Mr. Stevens, the Supreme Court spurned and, in fact, chastised the Department of Justice for arguing against his right to show these videos. And what they said was pretty much what that guy who called up and was yelling at me. The government said, listen, and by the way, this was passed under George Bush, right? And so everybody was all for it. So now Barack Obama's administration has to defend it. And they said, gee, we don't think the founders of our nation thought that free speech should also cover the murdering of little animals for sexual purposes or the watching of dogs. And do you know that Judge Roberts, the Chief Justice, he I guess, warned the woman from the Justice Department that what she was doing was wrong.
What she was doing was wrong.
Yeah, what she was doing was wrong.
A stiletto going through a Labrador puppy's head, not wrong. That's free speech.
They said that this, and by the way, the liberal judges vote. The only judge, Alito, who voted against it, and that's because he has a dog.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
he has his little
maybe
dog
we should get a fucking dog on the Supreme Court, too, while we're at it.
Wouldn't you like to dig up Thomas Jefferson or Ben Franklin or George Washington and say, the free speech thing?
Yeah. Sorry to bother you.
We'd like, just have a seat right there. Forsooth, what is that? It's called a video machine. It's called a DVD player. Yes, the signals, we actually can take a moving picture of individuals and it must be Satan. They would go nuts.
No,
right?
I'm not going to capture your soul in this. Don't worry. I just want to show you what your little paperwork has led us to here.
You would show them snuff videos. You would show them dogs being maimed and killed, and you'd be saying, this is a free speech. Hey, listen, they would be stunned to hear that a black person is allowed to talk normally. Okay?
Much less a guy jerking off to a puppy.
Thank you very much. Right. Then the other one I'd love to do is to show them, an AR-15 or something, or a bazooka, or whatever, and go, these are the guns that everyone's saying that, they would, it only does 20,000 rounds a second. It's no big deal.
Yeah. Hold up a javelin missile launcher and go, they want to use this for hunting. Thanks a lot.
I mean, the Constitution was written, back, come on. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, a free speech was back there, and the guns. I mean, give me a break. I mean, you'd miss a guy at 6 feet with the guns back. The ones with the big, the Pilgrim's head with the big opening.
Yeah.
All right. Ben Roethlisberger, 6 months. 6 games he can't play. 6 games.
Ira's in pretzel heaven over here with this bag. He's just going to
Roethlisberger will lose $3 million in salary, and they're saying that they're trying to trade him. Why
the whole town's turned on him. I talked to somebody the other day, and that's it. All of Pittsburgh, they don't want him there. They want him out.
Why? Because now he's
I
still
guess this
got
whole alleged rape thing.
Does he have something in play also in Lake Tahoe? Didn't somebody accuse him of something in California?
No, it was in Vegas. Is
that still happening?
No, he settled out. He settled
on that one, and then he went down to Georgia. Did you read about him having the line of blockers in front of him in Georgia, where they cock block? The girls that are always with the girl that the guys are going to screw, and their girlfriends don't want you to take her home. So now, what did he do? He reached under the girl's dress and grabbed her. Allegedly, is that what he supposedly did?
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
Why would you get rid of a guy like? I mean,
Because it's
where's he going to be traded to? Where's he going to go?
But it's not like this is the first time that he's been in an incident similar to this or accused of something like this. You know,
he's a winner. He's a winner.
Yeah, he's a winner.
He's a winner. He wins big games. He's
one. Yeah, but he's shaping up to be a criminal too. Apparently.
Really?
I don't know. Ever since his head went through that windshield of that car, he just hasn't been the same.
That's exactly right. That's what they ought to say.
That's his defense.
He approached the girl
Go ahead.
with his penis hanging out of his pants.
I've done that a couple times. I take the pockets and turn them inside out, and it's the elephant. You ever done that?
Exactly. And then you put one pocket and you go, it's a one-eared elephant. I've done it.
Yeah.
I had a kid in school who used to walk out with his sack hanging out, and he'd be like, I sat in some gum.
What?
His nuts are hanging out.
He sat in some gum.
Yeah, and people would look down and they'd see his balls.
The first big time lesbian that we found out about, of course, was Melissa Etheridge. Remember when she stole Lou Diamond Phillips' wife from him?
Come to my window.
She was singing to Lou Diamond Phillips' wife.
Yeah.
And Lou Diamond Phillips, after that, was never the same. I mean, he's had some wives or
He's
girlfriends.
hiding at a poker room right now with sunglasses and a hat on.
And he's got a head that looks like a parallelogram. I don't know what's wrong with his head.
And in the news, Jay.
Yes, Ira.
Espada says Cuomo is a bully as probe grows.
There you go. And then she got rid of Lou Diamond Phillips's wife.
Yeah.
And then she went with somebody else. She's just separated again from Tammy Lynn Michaels Etheridge. So she's gone through like 3 or 4 of these women, and she gets them to have babies. This one gave birth to twins. And they go and get from a sperm bank, and then and one of them is what David Crosby was one of them, right?
Right.
But I mean, the marriage thing is bad. The gays keep wanting to get married and it doesn't turn out. And why don't you listen to heterosexuals? It's not the greatest institution. Okay?
First of all, it's called an institution.
Yeah, don't just be gay and do like Ellen DeGeneres does, Just put a strap on and work that, the young thing over. Don't get married and all that stuff, okay? Okay? You're already in an unnatural state. You don't want to ruin it by getting in the most unnatural state, I mean, don't they read books? Don't they read anything about, what do you think? 1 billion married people were joking?
It's the world's largest inside joke.
Yeah, I mean, what are you, nuts? Women, there are books out there. My husband doesn't understand me.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. Then there's another book. My wife, there's no...
Men are from here, women are from there.
And then gay people are crying because they can't get married. Consider it, if I was gay, I would move to a state that never allowed marriage.
To quote,
and I would go, oh, I'd love to marry you, but, it's against the law,
Jay.
Sorry. Yes, Aaron.
Let's all teabag puppies. Everything will be fine.
You want to teabag puppies?
Yes.
That's his it's his right.
And in the news, Jay,
I'm surprised
Larry
that didn't make
King
the news.
Wants Palin Playboy.
Larry King wants Sarah Palin in Playboy. Where did you read that?
That's right. In the AM News.
Why are you talking one word at a time?
I don't know.
Well,
the AM News.
I got you.
Larry King must be around 90 years old.
Yes, and women seem to love him, and we don't understand why.
He should retire, and you should get the job, Jay.
No, they're going to give it to Ryan Seacrest. They've already said it.
Oh, Ryan Seacrest. He's on Z100. What the heck does he need a TV show?
Well, you know what? Once you get going, Ira, you really like that money. See, you really just want to keep going.
Oh, the money is great. Yes.
Yeah, you want to keep going. That's all. Okay.
But Larry King should step down altogether.
Well, Larry's got some other issues he's got to handle.
He's got a wife problem, and that's it. They might convict him altogether.
What's your thoughts on the big marriage thing?
I don't like him one bit. I hope they hang his balls up on the
Who are we talking about now? I'm having trouble following.
Larry King.
Oh. You want him to hang his balls up? He didn't do anything to you. Why should you be upset? Look. These women that he married knew what they were getting into.
She married him when he was close to 70.
Yeah, they thought he was going to die, and he just keeps living. And so she allegedly was screwing the Little League coach, who, by the way, is telling anybody that'll listen that he screwed her.
Everything.
Right. And then he gave his sister-in-law, allegedly, $1 million in gifts and $160,000 car, right? And then the sister...
I got you a Maybach!
The sister-in-law says that she did not screw him, that they were just friends, and so... I don't know. I mean, but what business is it of ours if he wants to sleep with whoever he wants to sleep with, and if women want to marry him, Ira, what difference?
Let him sleep with a dog.
You're just angry at him.
What's the temperature in Larry King's room right now?
Larry King's room is around 500 degrees.
Right.
Get it?
They're trying to pass a new law that if you get food stamps, you can't buy fattening food.
Well, there goes the whole food stamp project.
That would be the end of that. Whenever you see them in the foods, whenever they pull the food stamps out, it isn't like lettuce and tomatoes.
You've never seen so many healthy fed people in the line, like in the food stamp line. It's amazing. It's like
whose picture is on a food stamp?
It's like the audition for The Biggest Loser line.
Whose picture is on there? Do they? I know they have a
Rick Taylor.
Who was the big fat president? Was it like Taft? Did they have a big fat president?
It's a picture of Ironside.
It's Jefferson.
Who is it? Thomas Jefferson?
Poor guy. Let's dig him up. Let him know he's on the food stamp.
He's on the 5 stamp one that I'm looking at.
Hey, by the way, Thomas, banging the slave wasn't a good idea. Okay? Banging the slave was a bad idea. I mean, look, they were slaveholders. They abused, physically and mentally abused people, and they wrote the Constitution. And every time somebody stands up and says, we have to fight for the Constitution, you have to somehow look at the pricks that wrote this thing. Okay? I mean, by the way, Shuli, right after they wrote the Constitution, they opened the Augusta Golf Club. Okay? These are the two things that they did. The American Idol ratings are so bad that they're saying it's because Paula Abdul is not there anymore. God, that would be great, wouldn't it? I love that, don't you? That
good
it's
for her.
Yes, they like
she took enough shit from everybody, and now she's finally sitting back. She's going, you see, fine, I'm crazy, I'm on pills, whatever. Meanwhile, I brought you ratings.
That's exactly right. And no one cares that Ellen DeGeneres is there, and the other woman, no one even knows her name.
Yeah, what is it, Laura something?
No one knows.
Kara. Garrett knows.
Yeah, no one even knows who she is. I mean, she's nice looking and everything else. And I'm sorry, I cannot look at Ellen DeGeneres.
I mean, at this point, she needs to have a tool belt on, or she's starting to morph into Schneider from One Day at a Time.
I mean, she may
slowly
be
but surely
one of the ugliest people I've ever seen. What I don't get is she used to be kind of cute. She's from New Orleans originally.
She's a lesbian.
What I don't understand is how do they start looking more and more mannish as time goes on? And I believe she's causing one of the most beautiful women in the world, her girlfriend, Portia de Rossi, is starting to look like Charlie Sheen. Have you noticed that?
No, and she was suddenly, I watched her on Arrested Development, and she was hot as hell on that show.
Yes.
And that's sad.
She's looking more... I don't know what it is. it's almost like they take secret shots. I mean, it just, can you find the music of John Kelly?
I got a CD in my bag.
John Kelly, he's a man. He makes a living. He has a tribute band of Joni Mitchell.
Oh, Jesus.
And he's a guy, but he looks like Joni Mitchell. And he sings her songs just like her.
To the circle, Jay!
Yeah.
Jay,
we got to find
what
out.
I don't understand about lesbians,
yes.
How do they breath down there?
It's breathe, but...
How do they breathe down where?
Breathe down there.
You don't understand how lesbians breathe. Oh, I got you.
I don't understand how they breath down there.
I don't either. They need a mask of some sort. I don't know. Well, you know what? That's all the news I can take right now. It's the Jay Thomas Show with our the Weatherman and, of course, the Great Shula. 888 Stern 101. By the way, everything we've talked about today and all the clips and everything you might want to see, including Kevin Kraft lighting his hair on fire, can be found at jthomas.com. We'll put all the links there. A few moments ago, I mentioned actor John Kelly, who has a Joni Mitchell cover band. Now, this is a guy. And I don't think he's trying to sing like this, Shuli. This is his normal voice. Let's listen to John Kelly. It's a guy
in a dress.
In a dress with long Joni Mitchell hair. It's amazing, isn't it?
It's got a good voice.
Sounds just like Joni Mitchell. Quit playing that, you idiot. So what is that like to be like you're a man and you're stuck with a famous woman's really good voice?
I don't know. I remember when I lived in Vegas, I used to go to Arizona Charlie's and a casino out there and watch the Stevie Ray Vaughan impersonator cover band.
And he was a man singing like a woman.
Right, and the guy played guitar and he was good. And, the only thing that would make this weirder is if it was sold out. If
What was the crowd like? Did you see the crowd? Any of the crowd?
No, you just heard one person go, woo!
The imitating of others, I know there's every time I'm in New Orleans, there's a Fish cover band, performing at the House of Blues. And I'm thinking, why do you go hear the cover band? Why do you go hear someone that sounds like the person? Why would you go to that Beatles show?
One of the best cover bands I've ever seen, they were out of LA. I don't know if they're still together, but they're called Which One's Pink? And they were a Pink Floyd cover band, which you don't see a lot of because Pink Floyd stuff's pretty intricate, there's a lot going on. These guys, they look like studio session musicians, normal looking guys, but the lead singer looked like one of the Backstreet Boys, like this blonde-haired surfer kid. I swear to you, he sounded exactly like Roger Waters. It was the craziest thing, and the band was kick-ass, and it was like you'd go see him in a club, and you'd see Pink Floyd for $6. It was awesome.
And that's it.
But that's a band that's not together anymore either. Like, who wants to see Joni Mitchell, the real Joni Mitchell at this point?
Nobody.
Right.
Nobody.
Why the fuck would I go see a cover of Joni Mitchell?
One night I was in a restaurant. I saw Joni Mitchell, Ellen DeGeneres, and Portia de Rossi sitting at a table. And I walked back and forth to the bathroom hoping that at some point someone would say hello to me or whatever. They were the 3 meanest looking witches I've ever seen in my life. Never looked up from their meal, And, and all I did was walk back and forth trying to get them to say hello to me. Let's welcome Robert Shimmel.
Yeah.
Robert,
Great.
welcome Robert Shimmel, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Walking back
First
and
of all,
forth.
where are you? Where are you performing in New York?
I'm at the, what an odd name for a place for me to be, the Stress Factory.
Where's the Stress Factory?
It's in New Brunswick, I think.
New Brunswick, New Jersey, yeah. Yeah,
now,
walking by the 3 girls waiting for something to happen. For what? Them to turn into Margaret Cho?
The last time we saw, first of all, you're alive, first of all. And you looked awful the last time I saw you. How's your health now?
Thanks. I'm trying to look worse. It's you heard us.
We were worried. We were all when you looked badly. We lied and said you looked fine.
Yeah, no,
but you didn't look good. You didn't look good.
I know.
Had that yellow, that pallor to your skin. But the cancer's in remission.
The cancer's in remission. Yeah, luckily the liver disease is keeping it at bay. And
you had married your daughter's friend, young woman.
Who's not a match, by the way.
Well, I know. And I saw you in the elevator. We were staying at the same hotel, and the tension in the elevator between you and this woman. This is a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
You could cut it with a very dull knife.
Yeah.
And I knew that marriage wasn't going to work, but you apparently didn't.
No. You know what? I'm the last one to find out.
Mm-hmm.
He's a believer. The guy wants to believe.
I really thought that I had met my soulmate and everything, and I probably, I kind of knew something was going on, but,
what does that mean, something was going on? I don't know anything.
She was having an affair with the next, she was just having a thing with the next door neighbor for 7 months, and I didn't
Couldn't
know.
you forgive her if it's your soulmate?
Yes, I did forgive her.
Oh, good. Okay.
And she said, fine. I still don't want to be with you. I want to be with this guy, but thanks for forgiving me.
Now, does she live next door to you now with the guy? Does she live right next door?
No.
Okay.
No.
You wasted a forgiveness.
Luckily, that's right. I wasted a forgiveness.
Yeah.
No, she doesn't live next door. I don't think I could, I don't think I'd really take, her not living with me. So he lives with us.
It's like a Three's Company reunion.
Jesus Christ.
And here's husband number 2.
So now, when you get divorced, did you also have to give her, money like alimony or whatever the hell it is? And,
I offered to give her money, but it was only if I could throw it at her from the top of the Empire State Building in a Samsonite suitcase.
So she's gone. Now, how old is she now?
She just turned 35. Her boyfriend is 29. I'm 60.
Numbers are all screwed up everywhere.
By the way, as far as why
I'm
going to
play those numbers. No,
obviously, you've never banged a Dolly Parton lookalike.
I am playing those numbers today. 35, 29, 60.
That's the trifecta.
Yeah, I'm gonna play those those.
I wanted to ask Robert. Now, when you were on Howard last, you mentioned that your liver. You need someone to help you out. Have you found anyone yet?
No. So here's the problem. I'm not as popular as I thought.
You went online and asked.
And they
now,
said,
you don't
who?
need a full liver. I know this.
No, yeah.
The great thing about the liver is
You can
that
get a third of it.
It'll regenerate itself. It'll grow into a full-size liver.
Yeah.
And so you just need a sliver of a liver.
Right.
Are you at the point where you go,
is Dr. Seuss going to be in here in 2 seconds?
Are you at the point now where you're going, no, IMDb
No,
me.
but
I really need the liver.
here's the thing. The audience was unreal. And by the way, and it means the world to me. It does. And I'm being serious. I mean, I did, I had it took me maybe a year to have 59 friends on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I can't ask for people to be fans. I think it's a weird thing to say, be my fan.
Right.
If you're your friend, then, I write on a fan page and the friend page, and it's the same thing. There isn't, one doesn't get to see something else does.
Yes.
But after doing Stern that day, I had over 4,000 fans on Facebook and 3,000 friends. And then all these people start writing, I'm AB positive, I'm a perfect match, I want to donate. So then I go to Mayo Clinic and I start all these testing things, and then they tell me that Mayo won't do it with a living donor. They only do it with a cadaver.
How are they going to
organ.
join your fan page?
Wait a minute. You've got to kill someone before you can get a
No,
piece
they
of
got
their
to die.
liver.
No, they have to die. It doesn't have to be by my hand.
He just wants the end result.
Yeah, no.
But you know something? You are so much better than most of your fans, as all of us are.
Yeah.
And people that worship you, and I mean this, there are people that worship
No,
you.
but wait. Let me finish this. So they don't do it. So at Mayo, this is no lie. I'm telling the truth.
I'm just saying it's okay if a fan or two dies.
Yeah, they
to
don't
keep
do
you
it.
alive.
They won't do it with a live person. The only way they will use a living donor at Mayo Clinic is if it's a family member, like a blood family member or a childhood friend. Otherwise, they just don't do it. So all the people writing saying, please let me be the one, and I really appreciate it, and I get a lot of weird emails. I get people saying, how do you know what their ulterior motive is? And they might give you part of their liver now, but 2 years from now they'll be calling and going, hey, I gave you my liver, I can't make my mortgage payment, now help me out.
You know, a week after, you'll be, listen, can you put me down +3 for your show?
Yeah, sorry, no
if it's only a piece of the liver, well, here's what's weird. If it's only a piece of the liver, the Mayo Clinic is fearful that people will be selling organs, and I guess that's what's against the law, or is it ethical, or is there a
selling
law in the
it? There's ethical because, they say that some, I mean, this is what I hear, that some people have had heart transplants and stuff like that, and they wind up having memories and weird feelings that actually originated from the person.
That's true.
The original. You've heard that?
And there's like they made like movies about like people getting transplants from like criminals or something.
They don't really do it. They haven't. Mayo has not done it yet with the living donor. Wow. So I would have to get a cadaver thing, and then you're on a list. So you are based on your blood type. You are on a list. I wound up getting sick halfway through my testing, and I got staph infection, and I had to stop. There were things they couldn't give me, and you can't get 2 scans a week, because once they put one kind of dye in you, then...
you have to wait for it to get out.
And they ask these really stupid questions in there.
Jay!
Yes, Ira.
Are you allergic to squid ink? Yeah.
That's Ira, the weatherman, Robert.
Because I was sucking on a squid ink pink the other day, and
Jay,
how would I know?
Yes, Ira.
I love liver, which you can get at the 7 Seas.
Yeah, but that's not the kind of liver we're talking about. This is a human liver. This is a man whose life hangs.
I don't know if it regenerates, if it's already got the onions on it. And
yeah, I think
last week, Jay,
highly inappropriate for you to be bringing up.
Last week,
yes, liver and onions.
Last Friday, I went into the library.
Right.
A picture that I got last week.
A movie
was called
what?
The Heckler.
Okay,
moving on.
And guess who was in it?
This is how I'm spending the rest of my life.
Bobby Slayton.
Whatever time is left.
Bobby Slayton, the heckler, was in it. Okay.
Yes.
Robert Shimmel is with us. Stress Factory.
We don't have a liver for you, but we got a liver for you and Ira.
Yeah, it's in Brunswick, New Jersey, this weekend, the Stress Factory. And
Shirley, where are you going to be over the weekend?
I'll be watching Robert at the Stress Factory in New Brunswick, New Jersey.
Now, Robert,
that's right. You never know when it's going to be the last show.
The wife, of course, took care of you, even though she knew.
No, that's the other wife.
That's what I mean, the original wife.
The original wife. And you know
the
what?
real wife took care of you.
But the original wife is unreal. She actually is a perfect match for me, as far as liver goes. That's about it.
But you won't ask her for a sliver.
She offered.
Well, why don't you take it?
She offered a few weeks ago. She went to get some tests. The problem is with that is that
she'd be helping you.
No, is that we have an 11-year-old son together, and they're a little leery of that because there is a chance that, I might not come out of that room, and she might not, and then you have a kid that has no parents.
Right.
So they usually don't do it with both parents. But she's a match, and she said if worse comes to worse, and it came down to it, and there wasn't anybody, and it looked like it was going to be the end, then she said to make sure to lose her number.
Now,
there's a lot of rules here. There's a lot of rules.
I know.
Now, why don't you
I'm just going to start a video blog and go on and I'm going to become a wine critic on YouTube every night and then one night when I'm not on anymore, they're going to know I'm gone. Tomorrow I'll be checking out the Chalon Chardonnay from 1985.
Now, the 11-year-old son, I mean,
he's not a match.
I think that he would vote for Mommy to try and help Daddy stay alive. Okay,
Mommy voted for it on her own without me.
That's what I'm saying. So why aren't you going through with that?
Well, and it's still up to the hospital whether they would do it, and because there's ethics involved there.
Why don't you leave this country and do it?
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Get a liver put in with an arm on it.
Yeah.
No,
so I can go get a transplant and go rinse off in the Ganges River and then wonder what kind of infection I have.
No, you can go to Mexico and there's fine doctors there.
I can't drink the water there. I'm going to get a liver there?
Well, you know what?
He brings up a good point, Jay.
No, but there are lots of countries where you can go and get a liver. And it doesn't have to be one of the major countries.
And most of those countries, Jay, when the doctors come to move here, they end up sweeping and mopping stuff.
Yeah. Listen, and here's the other problem about going to another country, and this is in all seriousness.
Yeah.
I've been to Cedars, I've been to USC, and I've been to Mayo Clinic. Mm-hmm. You go get a liver in another country, these guys write you off. They will not follow you up after surgery in another country
for liability
because they don't want to be the last link on a malpractice suit. So you can't go get one in India because I know you can go to India right now and buy one for about $15,000-$20,000.
You can get it online, most likely in India.
You can. I think there's about 7
Why wouldn't you and your wife go? Wait a minute. Why don't you and your wife go to
India,
Grenada?
Yeah,
Grenada has a medical school.
Yeah, remember right. She hasn't banged anyone there yet.
No, remember when Reagan attacked Grenada because the Cubans or whatever, we saved the medical students who couldn't get into American schools. We had to save them. So go to Grenada. The island of Grenada, and you and your wife go on vacation, and she gives you a piece of the liver, and life goes on. That's all.
Were you surprised that your ex offered to help you out? I mean, with all the stuff you guys have been through?
No, because she's the one that actually got me through chemotherapy with the knowledge that it didn't mean that we were going to reconcile after, and she did it because she still has feelings, and we have children. We have children together, and I'm the father of the kids, and she didn't want me to be gone. But this is honestly, this is as bad as cancer is. This scares me more than that does. Because I never have to go to sleep and go into like a 20-hour surgery for cancer. You got chemotherapy, and the worst thing that can happen is you start throwing up a lot, and they give you some pot to smoke. But,
now, did the cancer treatments cause the liver to stop?
It did a lot of damage to it. Mm-hmm. And my kid, you can't get chemotherapy and go through all that stuff and not have it have collateral damage to your body.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're basically killing you and hoping that the cancer dies before you do.
Right.
Wow.
It's a bad spot to be in. I'm 60 years old. They would have hoped that I would have done it at a younger age. I don't know what the recovery time is. There's no guarantee that I could even come back and do stand-up after because they knock out your immune. See, here's the. Boy, this is the Cell Comedy Show tickets.
You can do it in a bubble.
No, here's the problem, is that...
I think the Stress Factory is a perfect place for
it is.
After this.
Robert, weren't you ever at the Comedy Club downtown on 23rd Street?
What is he talking about?
Would you...
In what city?
Back him up.
Manhattan, 23rd between 7th and 8th Avenue.
Back him up. Hold on.
23rd Street.
Because we're going to get to the comedy after we finish with your liver.
Yeah. Wait, where was I?
Gotham.
Oh, yeah, Gotham. Yes, I was. Thanks. Thanks for plugging them. They don't book me anymore. That's great.
Ira, we got to stay with
Hey,
where
Robert,
he's
didn't your parents meet
now.
Hitler? So,
yeah. Come on.
Because he's at the Stress Factory next weekend.
Yeah.
Come see Hitler.
Yeah.
By the way, stay where you are. We have a woman that
we were
wants to
going
be
to go see Hitler,
1,000.
but you know what? He's doing the same thing he did. He didn't do anything to change his act at all.
I want you to stick around. We have a woman that wants to be 1,000 pounds, Robert. She
wants to be 1,000 pounds?
Yes, she does.
Carrie Snow still around? No, wait. So, what was it? Where were we? Because it was a series. Oh, yeah. So here's the thing. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of complications. It's not the easiest deal in the world for me. I had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I was stage 3, and I was one stage away. Stage 4 is it's in your bone and brain. And stage 5, I think, is a development deal at the WB. So anyway, what happens is they have to knock out your immune system so that your body doesn't reject the donor organ, because the liver isn't yours. So your body says, hey, this doesn't belong in here, and it attacks it. So in order for that not to happen, you have to be on medication, like Prograft, which I think is about $2,000 a month for the rest of your life, and all these other ones, so that you don't reject the organ. The problem with that is that while you're knocking out your immune system to not reject the donor organ, if you have any cancer left or anything like that, then that comes back like wildfire because you have no immune system to stop it from coming back. And then once that comes back, you can't get another transplant, and you can't even get chemo on a brand new transplanted organ. You wouldn't be able to take it. So it's
so it's like an obstacle course you have to get through just to get close
like
to getting
God
better.
Has really focused on you.
Yeah.
It really is. He's got some sort of a spotlight on you.
He actually, I heard a voice last night in my sleep saying, it is okay for you to say, why me? Because everybody else has been saying, things happen to other people. This just doesn't stop.
Well, I got worse news for you.
By the way, Robert Shimmel
chick is a match, so get ready for that.
Robert Shimmel is at the Express Factory.
As long as your liver is 500 pounds, because I don't know if I can look around another 250.
Tip over like the Flintstone car.
He's there tonight, tomorrow, and of course Sunday. And
not Sunday.
Not Sunday.
Just tonight, tomorrow.
Just tonight and tomorrow.
No, yeah.
Yeah, just tonight and tomorrow. And so you got the ex-wife, you have the children. Now
I'm almost divorced. It's been
you married your daughter's friend. Yeah. Is your daughter still friends with her friend who married you?
No.
Good.
No, they're not friends anymore.
Okay.
And my daughter, who was the friend, is made me a grandfather actually in December.
Hey, congrats, man.
But
kid, can we use that kid's liver?
No.
We're still
I'm
waiting.
looking everywhere for a liver.
Her husband's too cheap.
I'll be getting the liver for you, Bobby. At the 7 Seas tonight.
Now, you know what? All kidding aside, can we use a pig liver, or can we use no animal liver will work?
Can I use a pig liver?
Yeah.
My parents are both in Auschwitz. Are you kidding? They wouldn't even let me play football. I couldn't even touch pig skin. A pig liver?
Trying to bring something up. I don't know. All right. Robert Shimmel is here, and a woman that wants to be 1,000 pounds, wants to be the largest woman, fattest mother in the world.
Good.
Is on her way.
That's going to be the story people are going to be talking about later. The 1,000-pound lady, not me.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
If you're in Brunswick, New Jersey, the Stress Factory, where Shimmel will be tonight and tomorrow night. Let's welcome Donna Simpson to the Jay Thomas Show. Go to DonnaMSimpson.com. Donna already weighs over 600 pounds, and from New Jersey, you're trying to reach the 1,000-pound mark. Is that correct, Donna?
Yeah, that's something that I would like to do.
Now, most people, Donna, by the way, I want to introduce you to Robert Shimmel, the comedian, is here.
Hey, Donna.
Okay, hi.
Good morning, Donna.
That's our weatherman. That's our weatherman. And
Morning, Donna.
Now, Donna, most people are going in the other direction. What made you decide that you wanted to get, I mean, can I use the word fat?
Oh, yes, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. That you decided you wanted to be fatter. What made you decide that?
Well, in my world, I have a website, and I have a lot of followers, and there's this whole underground society that we have that I'd like to bring to the foreground. We basically, the more curves you have, the more cellulite bumps you have, the fatter you are, the sexier you are.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, like a new phenomenon, I know.
Now, what size dress do you wear?
What size dress?
Yeah.
Like 5, 6X.
You wear a 6X.
Yeah.
No biggie.
Okay. Now, that sounds like it could be, as you gain more weight, there's no getting on top. It sounds like you could actually do some injury, sexual injury to someone.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah. Do you have a good sex life with your partner, your boyfriend?
Awesome. We have a 3-year-old, so,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, most definitely. He's 6 foot tall, 200 pounds.
The 3-year-old?
No.
What record's he going for?
Yeah, the boyfriend.
We had a 3-year-old, but we haven't found him yet.
Now, when you were
He's
pregnant,
lost in one of the folds.
was it hard to know you were pregnant, or did you? I mean, did you show? Did you actually show the pregnancy bump?
There's that show, I didn't know I was pregnant, and it's usually like bigger women, and they think they just have a stomach ache, and the next thing you know, they shit out a kid.
They have a stomach ache.
No, I mean,
really?
Yeah.
I knew that I was pregnant right away. Lack of monthly happenings.
Right, your period stopped, so you knew something was in there.
Yeah,
and it says it took 30 medics to help you deliver your daughter. Why did it take 30 people to help you deliver?
The gurney collapsed.
Basically what it was people were standing there witnessing this because they were like, oh my gosh, we've never seen, this is a world's record. So, what is this like? So everybody wanted to...
Somebody from Guinness was there?
Yeah.
Well, nobody from Guinness was there because at the time we didn't realize it was, but nobody had seen anybody my size.
Instead of an X-ray, did they use like a radar satellite or something? Did they have to
spelunk in there?
Did they have trouble seeing the child in there? Or did
in there, yeah.
They had trouble looking. And now it says here your favorite food is sushi. So if you and I go to a sushi restaurant, it's served in little pieces. How many pieces would you down at a sushi restaurant?
Well, I've eaten 70 one time. It's the square kind, like the one that's square with the meat on top, not the little dinky ones,
I think that's called a burger.
Yeah. The dinky one's called a sub sandwich.
yeah, exactly.
But people make fun of fat people, Donna, and
I can't wait to see her use Shimmel as a toothpick.
You're at over 600 pounds now. Is that it?
Yes.
And for the 1,000 pound mark, how long do you think it's going to take you?
I don't know, but, because honestly, people think that I eat Twinkies and Ho-Hos, and that's my diet, but honestly, I'm trying to do this with, baked chicken and fish, and I eat, low cholesterol everything. So... How
many calories a day?
Probably, sometimes 1,500, sometimes maybe 4,000, it just depends. But, honestly, I can gain by just breathing in air, to tell you the truth.
So you just decided that you're going to be overweight, and why not go with it?
But a healthy 1,000 pounds.
You're going to be a healthy 1,000 pounds.
Well, I'm going to be healthy. If my numbers start acting crazy as far as, the whole blood, whatever, pressure and...
How is your pressure?
Yeah,
great question, Ira.
If anything starts going, haywire, then I have to reevaluate, so...
Donna Simpson is here, and if you go...
Where are you from, Donna, may I please ask?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Where are you from?
Oh, originally from Ohio, and then, grafted in here to New Jersey.
Oh, you live in New Jersey.
Right. Now, Donna M. Simpson. Can I do this interview, please?
She's invited to the Seven Seas.
I don't think they want
her.
I don't think they want. No, Ira.
She'll put them out of business.
She'll eat so much that they'll be sorry that you invited.
That's it, man. She can make an in-person appearance.
Well, maybe so. DonnaMSimpson.com. If I go there, it says that you charge money to watch you eat. What do you charge if I were to go on there to watch you eat?
Well, see, I'm kind of in between. I'm going from one website to the other, but the website that you could actually go into is $14.99, and that's www.supersized with a ZED bombshells with an S.com. And it's $14.99.
So you're part of the Supersized Bombshells website, and you eat what? Is it? Are you, they video you eating, and I watch the video.
Can I request food for you to eat?
Yeah, what I do is I usually 4 times a month. Philip and I take pictures, and then I'll do like a set where I'm eating pizza or something like that, and I'll do videos as well. And the guys love it; they go crazy.
Now you're saying that men pleasure themselves while they watch you eat a pizza. I mean, let's
I guess so.
Now, talk to me a little bit about this eruption last week that affected
I don't know
all
what
these
I'd
flights.
rather watch. Little puppies being stamped to death or Donna Simpson eating a pizza.
Which would you come to first?
I don't know.
There's next week's bit.
Bob, do you have any questions for Donna M. Simpson? The woman that's going for 1,000 pounds.
Do you move around, Donna? Like, are you like you still get out of the house and stuff?
Come on, baby.
From Florida.
Let's do the twist. Come on, baby.
Honestly, to tell you the truth, I can't understand the guy there in the background. So
yes, he's not. You're not supposed.
That's not Robert Shimmel. Don't get confused.
Right. No, right. You're not
Forgive me
supposed
if I'm not laughing at a joke.
No,
I
don't
can't
worry
hear
about
anything.
it. No one's laughing. No one's laughing. It's too sure.
No, it's okay. I mean, trust me. I know it's the biggest joke on the whole thing about being fat and everything, and I like to roll with it. Ha ha ha. No pun intended.
What?
But
when's the last time? No pun intended. When's the last low carbs? When's the last time you flew on a flight? And how many seats do you have to purchase?
Well, we flew to Tokyo, Japan. Over Christmas.
Did everybody run when you got out of the airport?
Wait a minute. That's like a 12, 18-hour flight.
Yeah.
How many seats did you take up in the plane?
Well, I only take 2, but they bought me 3, and I was like, okay, hey, this is cool.
I can eat a third seat.
Okay, yeah. Hey, wait a minute, talk about eating. I got 3 meals.
Nice. They gave you 3 meals.
3 meals. Plus, it's the first time they had to refuel over the Atlantic.
Really.
So, men are always excited about a woman's shape. What size bra would
Can I get a 23rd bag of these blue chips?
56EE.
What do you have? What is it?
56EE.
Wow.
56 double E.
Bravo.
That's incredible. And what do you tell your daughter about her eating habits? You're going for 1,000. Do you worry about your daughter ballooning up?
That's a totally different story. My daughter, I don't want her to be heavy at all. I mean, if she gets the gene, I'm going to teach her to be the biggest, baddest BBW ever. But this is a hard life, and people poke fun, and I don't want her to have to go through that. So, I really watch what she eats. And,
what's a BBW you mentioned?
Big, beautiful woman.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I really, I don't want that for her because it's a hard life. And,
well, if you get to 1,000 pounds, life is going to be even harder for you.
Well, I meant for her. I don't.
I know, but for you, it's going to be even harder for you.
But you would be surprised. There are so many people. There's a guy that's like has offered land, and people are like, we'll make a commune, and
and he can eat us one at a time.
It's like really.
He wants to offer you land that you can just roam, or you would roam around the land like some sort of a crazy.
Put rollers on the bed and just like roll me around or something. I don't know.
They would roll you around the land on a bed. Wow. Well, look, Donna,
we're going to plow the back 40.
DonnaMSimpson.com. If you want to watch or eat a pizza, you can, and the website, you can go to that. They'll show you where you can go to. What is it? The website where you can
Supersized.
It's www.supersized.bombshells.com.
Okay. Well, now we'll check in again.
My name
ate that server.
We will check in again as your weight grows. When do you think's a good time to call you back? In a month or so? Something like that?
Yeah, let's see how it goes.
20 minutes.
Okay. All right.
No, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead, Robert.
No, seriously.
Yeah, sure.
So once you hit the 1,000 mark, are you going to try and go back, or you really want to stay there?
Well,
What about blood sugar?
I would like to settle in somewhere around maybe 700 or something like that. Maybe.
It's a good number.
Is there it's going to sound funny, and I actually really don't mean it as a joke, but I know what weight I am when I feel like this. But what weight do you feel like light on your feet, where you feel like you have energy and you can go out and do
You're
stuff?
fighting weight.
I don't know. I've never been there. I've been fat all my life, so I guess that's why people always say, "Don't you?" And I'm like, "Well, if you don't have anything to, if you don't have anything to compare it with, I don't."
Do you have trouble like wiping? After you go to the bathroom. I mean,
yeah, us big girls, we have all these secrets.
Mm-hmm. How do you wipe? Do you have like one of those plastic arm things that you attach tissue to and?
Yeah, we got all kinds of secrets. We got a magazine that we can order stuff from, and so.
It's called the Fat Ass Wipe magazine? What's it called?
Field and Stream?
No, it's called
Really?
Ample Supply. Supplies.
Ample Supplies. Now, I
we
will
have to
tell
get
you,
a subscription to that. I got it.
people would pay big money to watch you eat a pizza and wipe at the same time. I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
There's some sickies out there. That's the big money. Now, have you ever
Would you
had
eat
the
a
new
puppy?
Have you ever had the new KFC Double Down?
Oh, the 2 pieces of chicken.
No. If it's fried, I probably wouldn't eat it.
Yeah, she's
You don't
healthy.
eat
She
fried
doesn't
food.
eat stuff like that.
No. Go to supersizebombshells.com and see the lovely Donna M. Simpson, and go to her website too, DonnaMSimpson.com. Donna, thanks very much.
Thank you, Donna.
I pay you to watch you eat my mother-in-law's cooking.
Donna, over the weekend it's going to be around 65 degrees.
All right, well, she's got to go. I don't think she's going outside anytime soon.
Sky.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much, Donna.
Thank you very much. That was the gynecologist talking.
Hi, okay?
Okay, sweetheart. Thank
It'll
you.
be 38, and Donna will be sweating profusely.
Well, I'll tell you what, Robert.
Sweating prosciutto.
Robert had the funniest line ever. She goes, well, at first I lived in Cleveland, and Robert goes, and then when I ate that.
I mean, it's awful that we find fat people so funny.
Well,
isn't
I
it?
couldn't imagine that she keeps using the word fat. You would think that they would have a cooler word for
There's
it.
a song, Jay. I don't want her. You can have her. She's too fat for me.
Can you find that song,
She's too
please,
fat for me.
Kevin, if you can possibly find it? Thank you.
She's too fat for me.
Robert, what's the largest woman you've ever made love to, ever? Do you remember?
You ever gone hogging?
No. Well, no. Really not a lot. I just, probably my first wife was the biggest, only because she's 5'11".
Mm-hmm. It's just a big woman, big boned.
But not heavy, no.
Mm-hmm. We got to get that magazine.
I never made enough money for anybody that lived with me to get heavy.
Right.
We've got to get the magazine that has all the little secrets.
Ample supplies.
Ample supplies.
I just Googled it, and it
and a cheeseburger came up.
It's like construction tools. And
yeah, exactly. I'm going to wear a crane today.
Construction
How to weigh 1,000 pounds or more in less than 30
industrial
days.
fastening solutions.
That's the new rascal for fat people.
Yeah.
It's the crane.
That's good. She's going to be in a new movie, by the way, with Louis Pinette called "When Worlds Collide."
Somebody on the Facebook wrote, when she came on the phone, his glass of water started shaking like in Jurassic Park.
No, I think you have to put in there supplies for fat people or something like that.
That's why I Googled ample supplies fat women.
Yes.
And the first thing that comes up is industrial fastening solutions.
Yeah.
But the woman just said that's what she goes on to buy her special ass wiping equipment.
But where do you go if you're like her and you're a lefty?
Southpaw's got no love.
Oh man, poor darling.
It is bad.
Yes, it's
and those guys are facilitating her, paying to watch her eat.
Do I look fat in this bed?
Yeah.
How about the guy that's
How
giving her
does a
land?
daughter kiss her? This is it.
He's giving her land.
Hey, by the time they found the daughter, she was 4 years old.
You mean when they pulled her out, she was fully
she was at
They go, we can't see where the kid's coming out. Let's roll her in some flour.
She's like a marsupial. You know, you live in a big fat pouch for a while. Robert Shimmel,
But is
Stretch
she happy?
Factory, Brunswick, New Jersey, tonight and tomorrow. Let's hope you find a sliver of a liver, okay?
Yeah. Well,
All right.
that's very catchy. We might have to talk about using that for something.
T-shirt.
That's fine.
That's
That's a
Hey,
T-shirt. Help
have a
help
good
Robert get a
weekend.
sliver of a liver. Yes, thank you, Ira.
Julie,
Thank
have
you,
a
Ira.
beautiful weekend.
Thank you, sir.
Robert, have a
Holy shit.
beautiful
I'm at
weekend.
supersizebombshells.com. She just
Beautiful
ate a whole
weekend.
cake with her ass.